Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the opening round of the 2024 RaceFactoryGaming National Championship in MX Simulator, live here on Start Your Systems TV. I'm Kellen Brower, joined as always by Andrew Wood. He's in the booth, and Todd Gutierrez here this week as well. Man, we got a full house in the studio ready to call the action for you guys. The opening round of the championship, Fox Raceway. I mean, we're basically right next door to Fox Raceway as well. We can almost see it from here, maybe throw a stone while we're at it. But it's exciting, guys. Outdoors. We're going outdoors finally.
Super excited. It's a new season too, which is like new points battles. We got some people moving up. It's going to be good. It's always fun when a new series starts.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see kind of what happens, and it's all even right now, Todd. No one has a point yet, so we get to see who wins the first Moto of the year, who leaves here with a red plate. Leclerc, the defending 450 champion, Shirley, I believe, is moving up to 450s as well, so that'll be exciting to see how he does. But apparently Payson Johnson has gone fastest tonight, so who knows what's about to happen. We're just going to have fun.
Yeah, we got a blank slate. That's the best part about going outdoors now. Like I'm personally, I'm a big outdoors fan. I love the outdoors more than Supercross. I like watching the sim stuff a lot with the outdoor stuff a lot more than Supercross. It'll be interesting. With Shirley moving up, I think he's gonna be a contender. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens indeed. All right, let's jump into some qualifying stuff right here. Todd, maybe your microphone is off. No, it says it's working. So we'll
We need to turn up.
We'll work on. We're trying to make it all work here. Let's see. There we go. Is that better? Is that better? We got
hello.
Todd on
Check.
now?
Mic check.
Check. Oh,
hello,
there we
hello.
go. We got the beautiful Todd over there. Sorry,
right.
Microphone issues. Let's go ahead and talk about qualifying, though. We'll jump on our intermission screen here real quick and talk about qualifying here tonight. 450s, yes. Payson Johnson, Seth Shirley,
wow.
a 209.460. Shirley at a 210. Your defending champion 4 seconds off at a 213.4. I mean, we know Payson's going to be fast regardless, but that's pretty ridiculous right there, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, 1 second faster than next fastest guy, who is our 450 rookie, moving up for outdoors. I mean, you're basically, if you look at the rest of the times from fourth on back, you're basically 4 seconds faster than the rest of the field with two other guys, that maybe can drop that. So Payson Johnson, we haven't seen him in a while, and he can really turn some heads right here tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun 450 class to watch, and it looks like we're going to have consies all the way through. Yeah, look at this. We have got 60 people signed up, 65 people signed up here tonight, so that's going to be a consi, no question about it. Over to 250 motocross, Seth Carr on the heels of just missing out on a 250 title, and Cade Matherly, after missing most of Supercross, go P1 and P2. Former series champion Logan Leitzel, P3, and a lot closer in this class, Todd. I think we're going to see a little bit more tight action in this 250 class.
Yeah, for sure. Now with Shirley moving up, I think, we're going to, who knows? Anybody can take it. I mean, yeah, we have a half second between Seth Carr and Cade Matherly, but honestly, man, this racing is going to be very close.
Oh, it's going to be a good one here tonight at Fox Raceway to kick off our 2024 season. So those are our qualifying times. Let's jump in the server and take a quick peek at this racetrack real quick if we might be able to. We'll see if it allows us to. There we go. So overhead view of the track. I mean, it's pretty typical. It's Fox Raceway. It's flat. It's fast. It's jumpy. It's ruddy. It's going to get gnarly with 40 bikes on it. What do we expect here tonight, Andrew Wood, with this racetrack?
I think you're going to see a lot of mistakes. We got some jumps or some ruts forming up the face of some of these big jumps you got out there. It's a pretty flat racetrack, but there is a little bit of the hills in the back and a lot of different line choices. We'll see how those end up breaking down throughout the night. Throughout the day, if different ruts kind of develop, or if it ends up kind of one line. But I know the ruts do start out a little bit they don't really hold you too much, so these guys are going to have to work the track in before they start kind of railing. Really watch their speed at the beginning of the race. Yeah,
big shout out to Diet Dabs real quick for the Amazon Prime sub. Appreciate you for the support. We're going to get a consolation race here in a minute, but Todd, just taking a look at this racetrack right here, what's the one spot you're looking at maybe here tonight that is going to be a make or break section of the racetrack for these guys?
I mean, honestly, I think like this S-turn uphill downhill, like in the bottom middle section, I mean, it's going to get rough, man. Like, I think it's going to get rough. I know that just from watching, you do some warm-up laps, that second downhill, it can catch you off guard.
Yeah.
You get the swaps.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely some swaps to be had. Both downhills really can catch you out in a hurry. So, Consolation Race, not sure if we are off and running already with this. I think they would normally just go straight in, but gaps look pretty big on this. Not sure if we're consi racing just yet, but let's go ahead and jump into our main screen, talk about these consolation races, and see what is going on there. Always fun to see consolation races, Andrew Wood. This is maybe some of our favorite races of the night because they're basically last chance qualifiers like we get to see in Supercross. Guys going for it, only 4 spots up for grabs. And someone goes home. A lot of people go home early here tonight because I think there was 70-something odd people signed up in the 450 class, same amount in the 250 class. This is going to be fun right here.
Yeah, a little bit less tight action and maybe last corner passes than you end up with in Supercross, but these definitely bring the action. Everyone's still racing to get into the main event or the main show of the day. So you do see some action, some guys going down on the last lap and stuff like that. So look for this to be exciting.
Looks like we are just about set to go. Someone was saying, can we get a restart? But I'm not sure if we're going to get it. We are going to go consolation racing here at Fox Raceway. 4 laps, 4 riders to the show, and we are off and running. First gate drop of Pro Motocross and MX Simulator competition for 2024. Into that first turn, everybody bunches up. Big pile up. We're going to expect to see it in that 181st turn here tonight. But Sonny Spicer comes out with the early lead on the could-have-been Kawasaki. Bunch of has-beens out here trying to make their name. Still hold on to the game here in this Conti race. It's Spicer from Bollinger, Bradstreet, and Zimmerman getting passed up by Cameron Perkins going into the 4th spot early on. And definitely don't want to fall early in this because it'll put you at a long disadvantage to try to climb through the field.
Yeah, the guys that went down off the start, really difficult when you're facing the 4-lap race. I know they are long lap times, but to get set back early as Cameron Perkins gets overtaken by Tyler Nichols there. Cool thing is you do see some names as we get to outdoor season. Maybe outdoors might be a little bit easier than Supercross can be, a little bit less specialized, a lot more people, but definitely already seen some new names that we haven't really seen in Supercross season. So fun to see some newcomers to the series and get some fresh names in the group.
Yep, Tyler Nichols did move into that 4th spot, so we're kind of seeing a bit of an establishment already of our front 4 riders. As Nichols, he's going to go through the front in that dreaded downhill, Todd, that you talked about, bites on the first rider already.
Yeah, it's already taking carnage. It's going to get worse as the day goes on.
Yeah, especially with the erode in this game. Another rider goes down on the uphill. That's Bollinger out of 2nd. And if you're new to MX Simulator competition, you haven't seen this before, the track does deteriorate each session that these guys go out there. It's breaking down ever so slightly. There's an erode system as Bollinger absolutely scrubs that jump, trying to pull up alongside Caden Speck. These guys are battling for 8th and 9th, I believe, or 7th and 8th place as they all launch into this big tabletop here in the center of the track. But the track will deteriorate. It'll reset after each restart of the race. But these longer motos certainly will see some real rough racetracks by the end of them. And these guys are going to have to battle their way through those, especially down the stretch run. As Sonny Spicer leads lap 1 of the consolation race in the 250 class, Joey Bradstreet has moved up into 2nd, Cameron Perkins 3rd, and now it's Cody Wells in 4th, who has moved into this position on his KTM, Caden Speck, and Butters at Dr. Do Racing moving up into 6th now. Not sure who that is. Awo, do you have a report on Butters out here?
I have zero idea, and I don't recognize the number 232. It's a little hard if the 3 digits didn't earn it, but I mean, looking like he's pushing. Bummer Tyler Nichols went down out of that spot, but now we get to see this fresh group of faces going for this as we follow Butters around chasing this Yamaha in front of him. The thing they got to watch out for is that those ruts are pre-built a little bit, but they are built to last 35 minutes. So as the track gets eroded, small mistake by Butters, almost gets passed up the inside. These guys will, you might see a lot of front end washing and people blowing ruts early in the races, especially in these LCQs. And then once they start to get formed in, they'll get deeper and deeper. But we're not going to see too much of the track breaking down in these first consolation races.
Oh, that's a rider down. That was that Nichols that just went down on the Yamaha? Someone did. Didn't quite get a look. Who is it? We can't quite latch on to them.
I think it was Tucker Zimmerman. I think he was up there.
Maybe, or maybe Caden Speck, not too sure, but one rider did go down on that double. So as we look back to the front, still Spicer and Bradstreet pulling away. Perkins now 3rd. Cody Wells under attack in 4th. Here comes that battle we were watching. Butters and now Bollinger, who crashed early on, has slipped into this group. 3 riders battling for 1 spot, and Butters this time is going to go down on that downhill. Man, oh man, that's a tough one. Todd, I think it's just if you can't get over that first knuckle, you're in for a world of hurt on these downhills.
Yeah, you kind of just go along for the ride at that point. I mean, you just hope for the best and hope that the bike just centers back up after a couple swaps. But yeah, it's like I said, it's going to cause carnage. We'll see what happens.
It is going to cause a lot of carnage, especially in this race, as we got another rider getting sideways. Hollenbeck going to the outside, cuts back through the middle. Another rider down right there. That was Carl Robitaille. Some fresh names out here, Andrew. I'm not sure who these guys are out here. We're just looking at guys we've never seen before.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, Dylan Bollinger, he's a SoCal kid, so he's a name that I know personally, but we haven't really seen racing as far as Supercross season. I don't think we saw him really at all. So fun to get some new names in here and see some new guys trying to spoil it, whether they're trying to just make the top 40 to make the race, or we might see some new guys that kind of show up for outdoors and start doing good who aren't really the best at Supercross. So always fun. Round one, we never know what we're going to get.
Never know what you're going to get. That's the awesome part of racing pro motocross in this game, because we come from Supercross. We just saw in the 450 class, for example, Braden Carter dominate the 450 Supercross championship, and even he himself has been saying that he doesn't think he's going to be a factor in this outdoor championship. That is why we dropped the gate for 22 motos in this Pro Motocross Championship. This battle for fourth is gnarly, as well as around the outside goes Bollinger to make that pass up into fourth, and he is on the move. He has gone from second out of a transfer spot and back into a transfer spot, and he's going to try to run down the leaders, because that 222 is a solid lap time. 224, 224, and 223 up ahead of him as Spicer lays in his best lap, but he's under attack from Joey Bradstreet. And this perspective right here gives you a great idea of what these guys are looking at on this racetrack, trying to get that triple through there, and already the ruts and everything starting to shine through in just 3 laps of racing, 2.5 at this point.
I mean, that's bound to happen, though, right? As you were talking about seeing fresh blood, like we have guys like Seth Shirley and other people probably moving up to 450. Like, that's just going to happen, right? We're going to see new people coming in and having a chance to actually kind of shine a little bit now.
Yeah, that's always cool to see some fresh faces mix it up at the front of the field. And I'm sure even some of these guys from this Consolation Race are getting a little bit of extra racetrack time out there. And Spicer, who just coughed up the lead, now gets some opportunity to do a bit of chasing, but he's going to have to deal with some pressure. He has got Cameron Perkins closing that gap down. These guys are both comfortable in a transfer spot right now, but you don't want to get too comfortable in this position. You might slip your way back to a bubble spot and out before you know it. So Spicer, tossing away the lead to Bradstreet, has to settle back in up ahead of Perkins. And then Bollinger still cruising in the 4th spot just behind them. Pretty big gap now back to 5th, Andrew, with these guys battling it out. Caden Speck and Marcondes Feitosa in P5 and P6. So maybe the front 4 can settle in, but you never know what's going to happen in these final couple laps.
Yeah, you see this a lot in Supercross where they'll separate, but Supercross seems like it's a lot more coming at you faster. Outdoors, if you kind of slow it up maybe 2-3 seconds a lap, you can still kind of hold that pace, especially on the last lap, to stay there and stay up. So I don't think these guys are really going to be too worried about actually going down, but you just kind of settle into like a practice lap pace, just kind of cruising. And most of these guys should be able to keep it on 2 wheels. As long as they don't get overly cautious, then you can tend to make some mistakes, maybe in a section where you're carrying some speed to get through some braking bumps and keep your suspension from settling or unsettling. And then if you slow down too much, you catch a weird kicker that you never really hit. So just got to kind of slow it down and go with a comfortable pace and mail this into the moto.
White flag is waving here at Fox Raceway, round 1 of MX Simulator Professional Motocross Racing in 2024. You're watching the battle for P5 and P6 in the 250 Consolation Race, and that's Caden Speck going down, likely ending his chances at going through to the motos. These are riders that qualified outside the top 36, and Bollinger just went down again. I'm not sure if he got together perhaps with Spicer, but he's going to pick it up right as Feitosa goes by, and we're going to have a transfer spot battle. So these are riders that qualified 37th on back that have not made it into the motos just yet. They've got to race their way in, and that's what Marcondes Feitosa on the Tryhard Kawasaki has done at this point in time. He's up to 4th. He's going to try to hold off a late charge from Bollinger and see if he can't put that Brazilian machine up into this moto here at Fox Raceway.
Yeah, this is where Bollinger is going to need to kind of get on the gas right here. I would say kind of settle in, but you do really only have about half the track, and it's a little bit harder to make up the ground. He's got a pretty big gap right now, so I think he needs to put the hammer pedal to the metal, basically, and try to get up there. You can see how big that gap is as they go over that jump. You're running out of turns, so he needs to send it as hard as he can, because Feitosa, you're not guaranteed he's going to make a mistake. So I'm sure we're going to start seeing him do some stuff. He almost stood it up in that corner behind Feitosa back there, but he's holding on strong. We're going to see a little bit of sendiness right here from Dylan as we finish this lap.
He is trying to go for it to make it into the motos, as is Garrett Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck was a top 5 guy in Supercross this year. As down goes Bollinger, Hollenbeck is still going for it, trying to get to Feitosa. Meanwhile, Bradstreet tosses it away at the finish line. He's not going to win it. That's going to go to Sonny Spicer. Will Bradstreet pick it up in time? He is going to get over the line third as Perkins crosses the line, and Feitosa goes to the motos in fourth. Hollenbeck, the first guy to head home early here at Fox Raceway. He's already disconnected. Cody Wells, Bollinger, Evan Steins, Carl Robitaille is what I was told, or Robitaille is what Jacob Hubbard says. He said Robitaille and then Robitaille, so we'll go with one. We'll go with one of them.
Like a little doolies! Oh, that was huge. Too.
Jonathan Hernandez upside down. Johannes Breindahl going home. There's Evan Steins, Ryan Swanson, Chris Young, Kiwan Fuela, Justin Thomas. I know, throwback with Kiwan Fuela out there. Carl Novak. Tyler Nichols had a rough one there. Caden Speck also did not finish this with Will Canal. Emil Hull. Tucker Zimmerman, Gavin, Tom Quinault, Ryan Pinkerton, Cole Gress, Austin Bridges, Cody Branson, all heading home early. 29 guys, A-Wood, in the Consi. MX Sim is still here, folks. We got deep consolation races out here.
Pretty big for sure, and I mean that's after the top 40 that make it, so it's not just watching the LCQ. And you're looking back, and those guys were racing good, still had some really good lap times. Ding ding.
Yeah, should we add to the tally?
Yeah, I'm gonna start soon. Start racking them up. I'm waiting for my dinner to settle a little bit, but I'm still so full. But we'll get into some lattes.
We'll
here
get there when it's time.
Yeah.
But good racing.
Is that Kiwan Fuela, the same guy that does MX Bike Strikes?
It is. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, he
And
jumped over to bikes and did
Sim
some
like
tracks,
forever ago.
bike tracks,
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah, he used to be really damn good at Sim. Borderline race winner at a few rounds, if I remember right, in 2015, 2016 area. Yeah.
That's why. Same with Garrett Hollenbeck. When you see some guys, it's like, dang, you fell off.
Hollenbeck missed out by
Hollenbeck's, San Diego guy.
0.008 for
That's
Hollenbeck
rough.
that he missed out by. That is
Rip.
a
After
tough
cuts
look.
too,
After
missing
cuts,
out.
yeah.
He sent it though.
He did go for it, which is always good to see. You like to respect the send that these guys have out here, which is always nice. Back kind of in studio with you guys. We're in our intermission screen here, hanging out. Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, Todd Gutierrez. One race in the books. What are you seeing from this track so far that you're liking, Todd? Options available or what?
I mean, yeah, multiple lines everywhere. Obviously, we're seeing that the track can reach up and bite you in multiple areas. So I feel like it's like, yeah, you can push, but you kind of gotta like settle and just kind of chill in certain sections and let the track come to you instead of you just flat out trying to fly through everything. So it's been fun to watch so far.
It has been fun. Andrew, we see how close the consolation races have been. Not a lot of separation. Does that give you hope that we're going to see some close motos too?
Yeah, and I think it's weird with outdoors because you can't really predict, even with Payson Johnson throwing in heater laps, being so much faster than the rest of the field. There's so much room for a mistake and high speed mistakes, especially a track like this. You can see that every corner has at least 4 or 5 ruts in it. It is going to get broken down, but there are a couple things I think we're going to have to keep an eye on. After that, the downhill and that big like tabletop, there's a right hand in the middle of your screen, that right hander that they jump off of a single, and it's going to get easier as it gets deeper and has a bigger wall that they can jump into. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main line for like the top guys. But you get to where those top guys are doing these really tricky kind of lines that there is such a room for mistake where they might nail it over and over and over again, but the track keeps breaking down a little bit more. And so I think we're going to watch that. Some of it might get kind of slot car-y with the amount of ruts we have as they get worn in, and they find that 1 or 2 smooth lines. But there's a couple where I think the fast line is going to be a little sendy and a little sketchy, even for our best.
Yeah, it's going to be Really interesting to see the dynamic change throughout the motos as well. Obviously, like you said, those ruts will dig out a little bit more, so we'll see some options that we think are the main lines maybe become ones that aren't really available by the second half of the motos. But before we get into our motos, we have our second of 2 consolation races, 450 consolation race, coming up for riders going into the motos out of this one. Talon Brown, Rogan McIntosh, Edgar Moreno, Roy Mitchell, JT George, Nick Thomas-Sunis, Ryan Rich, Adam Holm, Chase Donovan, Pedro Barboza, Jack Haley, Blake O'Brien, Jack Fowler, Jet Wisdom, Noah Carassi, Zach Fisher, Xander Brion, Eduardo Simos, Gavin Ping, Aaron Rockefeller, Joey Arico, Caden Penkow, Austin Bear, Wyatt Carter, just to name a few. I think I got just about everyone. Interesting to see some names. We saw Adam Holm in this one. He almost won this title back in 2018, and now he's in a consolation race. Tough to see that to start out his season. And then Jack Haley, who we know is really fast. He can put down hot laps in this game, but didn't quite make it through out of qualifying. So I wonder for those guys if it's just a case of, maybe they just didn't do laps.
Yeah, I would assume didn't do laps when you have past either champions or could have been champions, and it's like they shouldn't be here. They can throw down a lap, hopefully fast enough to get in the top 40. But I mean, we played last night, and I'm surprised my 227 wasn't gonna get it in there. A little depressing, but that's why we're talking and we're not racing.
That is why we were talking, indeed. All right,
Roy Mitchell, JT George.
I know.
Throwbacks.
30 card goes sideways, and the revs are coming up. Final consolation race of the night. 4 riders to the show. We're off and running. A lot of guys hit the gate. And that land rush into turn number 1, it's going to be Nick Thomas-Sunis. He'll get there first. He's going to swing wide, and up the inside goes Austin Bear on the Yogi Yamaha. The 94 machine comes out with the early race lead. It's Bear from Ryan Rich. Thomas-Sunis settles into 3rd, maybe now 4th as he's getting passed around the outside by Chase Donovan. Donovan moves up into 3rd. Oh, Rich got tossed off the corner a little bit. We got 3-4 riders going off this tabletop at the same time. Oh, it's close. No one hits each other. Really tight there with Zach Fisher and Thomas-Sunis coming up alongside each other, up and over this big step up in the middle of the track. Much better start in this 450 consolation race. I feel like everyone's gotten through a little bit cleaner. So far, so good, but it may not stay good for long. Guys getting cross jump back there.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell the level in this 450 class is just a little bit different. Oh, rider going down up front. Nicky T going back and forth. Who is that doing a 360? Rides it out and takes out
Roy Mitchell.
Roy Mitchell, 360, saves it, takes out another rider trying to jump past him. What an unbelievable save right there. These guys are just on another level than the 250 class. I mean, you've got previous race winners, championship winners. It's just different. Oh, Roy going deep there, and that's where you can get sketchy. It's either land on top and kind of check up and know where you're going, or send it down the hill and hope you land in the right pocket.
Well, Roy just sent it down the hill, still made a pass on Caden Penkow down the outside line, made it work, and now he's absolutely sending it into the rear fender here of Nick Thomas-Sunis. It's Austin Bear, Ryan Rich, Nicky T, and Roy Mitchell, your top 4 early on, as they all settle into these positions. Not a lot of time in these races, so you got to make those passes and take advantage of opportunities when you see fit. Now it's Caden Penkow's turn to settle in behind Mitchell and Thomas-Sunis and try to make a pass. Now Mitchell's going to go to the outside and try to make a pass on Thomas-Sunis. Almost pulls up alongside of him, launches out to the flat. Off the side of the track he goes. And then Penkow down behind. Mitchell rejoins. Penkow gets hit by McIntosh. I think that may be on the 35. As Jet Wisdom, Jack Fowler now moves up into 5th. I feel like, Haywood, we always see Jack Fowler in these concies or the LCQs. He's right in the mix every single time.
Yeah, Supercross or motocross, no matter what year, it seems like he's between 3rd to 5th in a consi, and that's a guy who's been through a lot of heartbreak, but he's got a little pack of guys right behind him that he's got to make sure to kind of get away from as he blows the inside route there. Looks like he's going to get passed by Jet Wisdom as he moves up from outside to inside there, takes over the position, and Fowler's got to hold on with the rest of them, try to regroup and get back to Jet, because in front of Jet there's a pretty big gap. No, that's Roy Mitchell that's down on the outside. He's going to lose 3 positions, maybe 4.
Yeah, it's really close there. Man, look at this tight-knit pack.
Fowler passed again.
So that's Jet Wisdom that snuck through this group and has moved into the final transfer spot. Meanwhile, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on your screen going off that tabletop. All 3 of them basically alongside of each other. 7, 8, 9 in the background. Barbosa, one of the riders in the mix, as we'll peek back out front real quick and still see Austin Bear clicking off the laps. He's got a nice little lead. Ryan Rich in second. There is Thomas Sunis in third. And Jet Wisdom has now moved into fourth, almost through the front door on those rollers. Donovan, then Roy Mitchell, and we got Barbosa, Jack Fowler, Aaron Rockefeller, and Caden Pankow inside of the top 10. Ooh, look at that little saucy line from Barbosa trying to tee up Roy Mitchell, trying to hang out with the PPG group back from 2012, posting garbage on the forums and taking guys out of Brazil as he goes down the hill and tries to take out Roy Mitchell. Chase Donovan closing up on Jet Wisdom in a battle for fourth. Let's see what happens in this fight. Look at Donovan. He got there quick, and now he's going to try a different line down the hill. Wisdom, that outside line looks like it's a little bit better, though, and Mitchell just went down in the background.
Sent it too hard down that hill. Can you zoom in on your timing over there just a little bit? Chase Donovan. Oh, sorry, guys.
Come on, A-Wood.
Well, I'm trying to see names. All right, Chase Donovan. Oh, cases that table right there, but holds it together. Oh, look at this. A pass on Nikki T. Thomas Sunis down in the main line right there. That's the one they try to jump into, so maybe it just a little bit mistake right there. But Thomas Sunis back up, wearing that all white or all black always.
He's always wearing the kits that will get him noticed.
His freaking mini-me behind him wearing the all black. He's like, these are my 2 kits I made this year.
Is it his teammate? Underground RC, Aaron Rockefeller, not quite.
Is it? But those are the 2 looks you will see from Thomas Sunis this year. I'm telling you.
Also, get ready for 100 different Triumph motorcycles outdoors this year. I forget who made it. Maybe it was Dickerson. But there's another Triumph. We got Jet Wisdom up ahead on a Triumph as well. 2 different teams, Nexus and Underground RC. So cool to see the manufacturer make it into the game and these guys able to run it a little bit as Austin Bear continues to circulate on his Yogi Yamaha out front. Ryan Rich, haven't talked much about the Precision Rider in second place. Another name I haven't heard of before, to be honest. I'm just straight up, I don't know who this is, and he's cruising it in second place right now.
Is that Jesse Mullins? Is that who are those guys? No, Ryan Rich. Yeah, cool to see a new name up front. I mean, up front in this race, still would be about, not to put him down, 38th place. So we are missing all of our kind of top guys, but these guys, you're seeing new names, you're seeing old names, you're seeing past race winners, past champions, veterans of the sport. You're gonna get it all in these consolation races throughout this season. So cool to see Ryan Rich up here in the consolation race, putting in a good result so far early in the season. Hopefully we see a lot more of him. Hopefully get familiar with this name.
Any names jumping off the page at you, Todd, that you even recognize at this point? This is all just new crop of guys as he looks completely befuddled over there trying to figure out some of these names.
I mean, I know Jet Wisdom and Chase Donovan. Obviously, Chase has been around for a while. But yeah, I'm and Nikki T. I'm surprised that some of these guys aren't further up than they are right now.
Yeah, I'm still surprised to see Adam Holm.
Ninth.
Yeah, Adam Holm down in 9th place right now.
That's pretty bad.
A guy that was literally a turn away from winning this championship. The Level Up Phil's Honda machine out here trying to get going on the 17. We even saw him, I think, late in the season. Would start cracking the top 10 in Supercross. He was coming back around a little bit. And if he misses the start of Pro Motocross by missing this Consolation Race, he is going to be real pissed off.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to point out right before you said that, was that he raced Supercross. He had good, he was in main events. So it's not like he's one of these guys, Chase Donovan, we might have not seen for a year or 2 racing outdoors only. He was just racing the series, same with Jack Haley, and it's got to be a little bit of a disappointing result for these guys. You come in thinking you're going to be in there, maybe don't get a hot lap time down, maybe you're busy or whatever, but to come out in this race and not be able to put it together, as his best lap is 7 seconds faster than mine, still might not make it in, is kind of sad. But hopefully, there's still a little bit of this race to go.
He's still charging. He's still trying to make moves.
Yeah.
Hubbard and Chad has said that he got a really bad start, so he's just been charging this whole moto, trying to catch the guys up front again. He's he's making moves right now. He's only so he's got this guy ahead of him and then 2 more. So
yeah,
how far of a gap does he have to fourth?
Not too far, and it's starting to turn into a bit of a battle. Donovan is in the position. Rockefeller is starting to put the heat on him for this spot. So if these guys start getting together, of course, they could push themselves back to Adam Holm. The tough point, though, that Holm has to deal with is there is only one lap to go. So he's got to be perfect and hope these guys do make those mistakes. Might be another situation like we saw with Hollenbeck in the 250 class, started from way back and just missed out in P5. Oh, Rockefeller's going to go by. Donovan was off the track, slid that front wheel, the Takatoji ride, on the outside line and laid it down. So he's picked it back up in 5th now. Rockefeller finds himself on the bubble, the underground RC number 88 machine going up the hill. So he's going to try to hold on to this spot. Jet Wisdom up ahead of him, jumping down the hill, hopping through those braking bumps. And then a little late battle for the lead going on. Ryan Rich has finally caught Austin Bear. Both of them have ridden rather flawlessly, and as I say that, Rich lays it down. Commentator's curse always coming and biting me in the ass outdoors. Jet Wisdom is going to make the move, and Donovan is going to see that position not change hands just ahead of him quite yet. He's going to get up right behind Ryan Rich, but I think Adam Holm's going to run out of time. It's going to get close, 3.2 seconds, maybe get it close enough for cuts, but I don't think he's going to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance you can make a mistake. There's still some pretty tricky corners here. This high-speed one coming right up, but I'm no doubt that Adam Holm is going to send it right here. 2.7 seconds is the difference right here. Jumps deep into this rut, is able to hold it, gaining a little bit of time, but not going to be able to close it up unless there's a huge mistake, but get as close as you can, send it as all the way down to the finish line, and hope you can get it on cuts.
So Adam Holm rips the final turn. He is going to just miss out. He launches all the way to the finish, 2.1 seconds down at the flag, and Donovan crosses. He was A-OK in 4th. Up ahead of that was Ryan Rich, Jet Wisdom, and Austin Bear. These guys look like they are going to be the ones that seal the deal. So both 250 and 450 classes. Bit of a surprise to see Hollenbeck miss in 250s. I think quite a big surprise to see Adam Holm miss in 450s.
Yeah, he's definitely my biggest miss that we have here tonight. You got Jack Haley, Austin Bear, all these guys that we've seen racing throughout the season. But man, that's a huge miss for someone who literally came down to the very last corner at Ironman years ago to winning the championship to not make it. But I mean, that's the thing. If you can't get a fast lap time in qualifying, you are relegating yourself to this consolation race in one crash off the start. Maybe you get into another rider or two from there, and then you're just kind of whole world's turned on its head as you're trying to figure it out and get things going.
Yeah, and even Rogan McIntosh, who won a 250 main event this year, is out and did not make it through. No cuts for Donovan. 2.1 exactly the gap remains for Adam Holm. He does not make the motos here tonight. Bear, Wisdom, Rich, and Donovan are your 450 riders making it out of the consolation race. All right, time to get the motos going here in just a moment. We'll jump in and cover the action there in a minute, but let's go ahead and head back to our intermission screen, hang out in studio with you guys. Again, Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, Todd Gutierrez in the booth for the opening round of the season here from Pro Motocross. 30 minutes plus a lap on the docket coming up for the first race of the season. Todd, I'll throw it over to you. How nervous is everybody right now? It's the even point. Everyone's tied on points. You get one 30-minute moto to start off your year and see how it goes. Everyone going to feel good, or are we freaking out?
Oh, we're freaking out. I mean, coming from my experience, I'm freaking out. Like, I used to do the whole I'm muting everybody in Discord, except for my spotter. Like, I do not want to hear anybody talk. I'm full concentration mode, and I'm like, my hands are just like shaking. So I'm sure some of these guys are seasoned. They've been around. They know what to do. But some of these other guys, yeah, I'm sure they're freaking out a little bit.
Yeah. What about you, A. Wood? At this point in time, you're about to start a new season. You probably had, maybe 7 different opening rounds that you had in your career, at least outdoors.
Yeah.
Can you think back to some of your experiences?
I mean, it was almost always Hangtown, and I hated Hangtown. I think we raced the Hagvis one in the beginning. And then I liked when Barrington, I think, started making them, but just the worst track ever. I probably scored points in, if I raced 14 motos, probably 3. I just knew it was going to be a bad time. But I always knew that you had, some good tracks on the circuit coming up right after that. But I mean, it's just, nerves. I was the opposite though. I'm more of like, I want to talk to my friends. I put on like a good playlist and like get it the right volume. And I'm just going to know that I'm listening to like the music I want for 30 minutes and I'm talking to my friends and we're just kind of going. But sweaty palms. It's not that hot right now in SoCal, but it is in a lot of other places in the country. But I remember I would just be like basketball shorts, like no shirt, like window open, fan on, just sitting there because I'm like, I'm about to be sweating and my heart rate's going to go up to 180 for the next 35 minutes. Like your heart rate gets high too. People don't know that, especially if you're on the bubble, or when I first started racing was battling for wins, top podiums, top fives, and then to win later in my career when I'm just trying to get inside the top 20 and score a point, you're still freaking out. And it's like the first round sucks. I never did good, but maybe if it was a different track, who knows? But Paula,
it's funny how different people play the game though, right? Like how, like for me, like I didn't want to hear anything except from me and my spotter. Like that was it. Like I would mute everybody else except for that. But you were like, no, I'm cool. I'll listen to music. I can chill. I know some people just like want to have full blown conversation that has nothing to do with the race happening. So it's pretty crazy to see like how everybody deals with that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, Andrew, like you said, like it's hotter. The motos are longer. And if you get a bad start, you have a little less of like panic of like, I got to get going because you have so much time to figure it out. So you can get in that chill vibe, right? Like outdoors is more of a, you just get in a zone. Supercross, it's like panic for 20 minutes and then the checkered flag's waving.
Yeah. Outdoors too. I feel like I settled in, but the worst is if you get in the start off or crash off the start and then you start going down, then it feels like you're battling. I've done races where I've battled for all the way down to the checkered flag and gotten like 21st. By like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I crashed 5 times on the opening lap and I never fell and I was just trying to get there. But it's just like, you got to lock in. And yeah, there's different things. I know like Jack Haley or I'm always in these chats when these guys are putting in qualifying times and you say something and they're like, dude, I'm like, what? You don't
my
like
lap,
talking?
bro.
Yeah, it's
Come
like hot
on.
laps. I'm like, but some people race like that and some people qualify and it's like different vibes. But outdoors, you just have to lock in. I used to do the best when I would zone out. I would almost not even look at my screen, like my eyes would like blur and I wouldn't blink. And I just kind of look past my rider and just get in like a weird flow state though. Never happened in Supercross. Outdoors, just like hitting ruts, not trying. And I would like, I ride third person. I would be like zoned out, like 3 inches above my rider's head on the monitor and not even think about the track, just go. And then like checkered flag happens. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's over.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like
it's
you guys said,
freaking race.
Like you guys said, though, just everybody handles it different. Some people completely just want to focus in on themselves and not have a lot of distractions. Some people want to just be chilling. And what's interesting is you see some of these streams that these guys put out nowadays, and it's always so different. Some guys are talking to 14 other people, and there's loud chatting the whole time, and then they still get on the podium. And you're like, I could never do that. That would piss me off. Like, shut up. I'm trying to race here. But everyone's just blabbering away.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I had to have some silence. But it's a great thing, like you said, with these outdoor motos, man. You can go down in the first corner, and then you have plenty of time. Like, you don't need to really freak out. I know that like you want to freak out. You're like, oh, like what's going on? What's happening? But like you can just chill. You can come back. Top 5 is definitely doable. Like these long motos play into your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we are going to lock in for Moto 1 here in just a moment. Before we do, does anybody here have a Design Lab Co. whole shot winner for the 250 class? I'll just start listing off names. Wilczek, Carr, Nerona, Matherly, Cepeda, Gomez, Pardola, Ryan Chowsey, Schiabro, Balzer, Stevenson, Gatlin, Bradstreet, Heilman, Sullivan, Gafford, Vanderkoy, Betts, Reyes, Dallaire, Horn, Perkins, Carter, Mark, let's see, Vanderbeek, Evan Holt, Tyler Show, Rasmus Balzer, Lucas Brun. Anybody got a pick?
I'm going Matherly.
Matherly for Todd Gutierrez.
Good pick. Good qualifier. Good outdoor rider. I'm going Seth Carr. Got a lot of starts in the Supercross season, so think he can keep it going. And he got a good gate pick. Should be where he wants to be.
All right, I got Logan Leitzel, former series champion, leading us into turn number 1 here tonight. Let's see what's about to happen. We are set. We are ready to drop the gate on the 2024 RaceFactory Gaming National Championship. It is time to go racing in the 250 class from Fox Raceway. 30 minutes. Here we go.
God, so many riders on the gate. There's our first crash.
Big crash. The 18 of Evan
Oh,
Holt
go
leads
wide.
him in, tucking down the inside. It was trying to be Rasmus Balzer. He is going to get the Studio 8 hole shot. Balzer on the Rumus. Suzuki leads him through in the first turn. Holtzley there in second, battling it out with Logan Leitzel. He comes out in third, trying to move into second on the 3, and he is going to get there.
Yeah, Logan Leitzel did get a great start, just like you and multiple others in chat predicted, but almost forgot about Balzer. There's so many choices, and he just comes out and shows us he's going to continue what he was doing in Supercross, is getting good starts and leading races. Off to a good start, man. You don't have to worry about any of the carnage going on behind you in the pack, and you just try to go. And for me, it's not even about getting in complete sprint laps right away. It would be just staying off the ground for maybe 3 to 4 laps and getting yourself out there.
Well, Balzer fresh off another 250 East Championship indoors. We haven't seen much of his skills outdoors thus far, and he's leading the race early on here at Fox Raceway. Evan Holt second, Leitzel third, Brune fourth, Sullivan fifth, Vanderkoy, Tharp, Cobble, Siebold, Heilman, Gatlin, Adams, Perkins, Cepeda, Feitosa, Matherly's back here, Cole Betts, Joey Bradstreet. This is just giving an indication of our top 20 riders and where everybody is stacking up early in this race. Look at all the options at the bottom of the hill too. Maybe 6 or 7 different lines at the bottom of the hill, and they were all being used right there.
Yeah, it's tricky when these guys look. That inside line is one of the fastest. You'll see it get worn in first, but man, it's scary to go through that when you're so close in such a tight pack at the beginning of the race, as Matherly scrubs under another rider right there. But you guys, it's really important not to follow. Look at that, 3 guys behind him getting stacked up a little bit as well. If it was me, I would be trying to just avoid the rut that the rider in front of me is taking and just get through the first lap or 2.
Yeah, that looks exactly like what Matherly's trying to do. He's not following here, as he just missed out on winning that 250 championship last year, trying to make amends this year. Back out front, though, Balzer does lead the first lap of the year. Battle for second is on. Leitzel is all over Evan Holt, the Allied Yamaha versus the Yogi Yamaha. Good to see a good mix and array of colors this year. We had so damn many KTMs in Supercross, and I like to see we got some Yamahas, we got some Triumphs, some Suzukis, and Kawasaki's as Leitzel lays it down. Gonna lose 3-4 positions almost as the 23 comes up the inside of Braden Tharp. Tharp is going to seal that pass off and hold off ahead of Leitzel. Leitzel now dealing with Sullivan, Vanderkoy in the background.
Right back.
Yep, and right back up the inside. Leitzel gets right through on Tharp, as does the 11 of Luke Sullivan. Sullivan and Tharp battling it out. Not quite teammates, though it may look like it. I think they're both on Fantics, though, if I have that correctly. That looks like a Fantic. Yes. They both look like Yamahas, but you get that red and white mix. I usually think they're going for the Fantic look.
Yeah, I think so. And man, it's just crazy watching Logan Leitzel come out, and not to diss his Supercross abilities lately, but it's just a whole nother animal when you get to outdoors. And there's going to be riders like that we're going to see. Payson Johnson could come do that. We might see the opposite with Braden Carter. That's a storyline. Has historically not been as good with outdoors, but it's fun to see just new names who are you see in the back of the pack missing main events in Supercross, and they just come out and dominate in outdoors. So really good to see Logan Leitzel back, and really excited. Braden Tharp out here though did have a pretty good Supercross season, and carrying that over to outdoors, at least in this first moto.
Yeah, your top 5 still Balzer, Holt, Leitzel, Sullivan, and Tharp, who we're watching on screen, and then it is still a tight-knit group behind that. Vanderkoy, Cobble, Heilman, Gatlin, Matherly, your top 10. Matherly has now slipped into 10th as he continues to make good progress on his Twizy Honda. This battle is continuing. Sullivan and Tharp just not relenting on either side of the coin here. Sullivan trying to defend and not allow Tharp to go by so he can focus ahead on Leitzel. Tharp jumps slightly off the track right there and rejoins. And then this is the corner, what you were talking about. Oof, that was really close right there. And your leader went down. That's Balzer picking it up in front of these guys. Your new leader, Evan Holt, has taken over 5-second advantage as he comes down to complete lap number 2. And the fight for second is on behind him.
Are there any key differences on this track compared to, let's say, last year's track? Or is there any, do you notice anything, Kellen, about lines, or are there any additional lines compared to last year?
Well, last year it was based on the 2022 track at the end of the year as Balzer and that's Tharp goes down, brings Sullivan with them, and here comes a host of riders going through. My goodness, a whole gaggle of them. But yeah, they based it on the end of 2022. So the key difference really was the start. The end of 2022, it was a right-hand first turn into a left, kind of 180 right where they're going through right here. And then the rest of the track was the same, but in reverse. So this year, kind of the forward-facing Fox Raceway that we know, left-hand 180 turn. If you notice, it's basically the exact same layout as what we saw at Fox Raceway in 2023 for the real national. So that's kind of the key difference right there. But yeah, the line's kind of developing similar so far. A lot of insides being the preferred options, but we'll see those break down as the race goes on. No question about it.
Yeah, I think there's one little difference, but this track has pretty much stayed the same. But I do like most of the time we ride on almost completely the same exact last year's layout for real life. So it's hard because you almost have to think back two in 1 year. But it's fun. Sometimes you do get something that's a new change. You know, if they get to see it within 3 weeks or a month to go, sometimes they'll add in a small change to a section or add in a jump or something. So I like that. But look at Matherly right now, moving his way up. I was expecting him to be up here early. Same with Carr, who was down off the start and way back. Matherly having a good showing right now so far.
Yeah, he's already made it all the way up to 6th, and when we first saw him, he was just outside the top 15, so did a really good job of salvaging some early chaos to move into this fight at the front of the field. We still see it's Evan Holt leading this thing as Leitzel settles into 2nd. There is Holtzy, our race leader, and Leitzel closing in behind him. Big gap then back to Gatlin 3rd, Sullivan 4th, Heilman, and then there is Matherly on the 25 with Seth Carr right behind him. Cepeda, Vanderkoy, and Lucas Brun rounding out our top 10 with Balzer now in 11th after he coughed up the early race lead. Ooh, Cepeda jumping in sideways right there. Man, this is gnarly. This is already creating closer racing on this racetrack than I expected. I mean, this has been nose to tail in this group right here for basically the whole start of the race, 4 or 5 laps in.
Yeah, something I'm kind of seeing right now too is the track's got so many options, and I think they're built fairly well. You'll see it go down the one line a little bit right here, but with this new tread mark update, you can see actually not just the erode, but actually wearing into the decals where these riders are going. And I think you'll start to notice, look, there's all 3 lines there being used here. Almost every corner has 2 main lines. Look at that outside line. Heilman makes a mistake and is going to get passed by Matherly on the outside line, normally slower, but 2 big main lines right here. And I think that's allowing these guys to race a little bit cleaner. If you're right on the rear wheel, you don't have to follow and lose positions. And I think it's doing really good with the amount of ruts and the way they've built them into this track to start out.
Man, I feel like Matherly has got one direction he wants to go in this race, and it's forward. He has made some quick passes. That outside move on Heilman was a really good piece of work by Matherly, and now he's right on the 11 of Luke Sullivan. So Matherly, who missed Supercross, quite a bit of it at least, he raced the first couple of rounds and then bowed out of the series, clearly has come in with one goal, and that is to win the outdoor title at all costs. He is going for it around the outside of Sullivan to try to move into 4th. That turns into the inside here. We haven't seen many riders take this inside line. Let's see if it works. He crosses over the line. Oh, Sullivan is still right alongside of him. You see the nose poke out right there. Matherly's not going to get it done just yet as he squares the corner off and solely holds position.
I think that inside line Matherly used is a little bit harsh on these 250s, not able to get the drive out of the corner. Might see it used a little bit more in the 450 class, but Matherly's not getting up, and I think this is going to be a great battle here. Both of these guys have been title contenders, race winners in the past, so good battle here by some veterans now becoming of the class as Matherly's starting to get more years under his belt in outdoors and contending for race wins. As we move up to Jack Gatlin just in front of them, got a little bit of breathing room behind him, got some very interesting gear. Behind that, huge gap up to Logan Leitzel right here, who is now pushing, trying to make his way forward. Yeah. Started up front early, dropped back, and now slowly trying to get back up, but the pace at the front is just so fast.
Well, this is the battle for the lead right now. Evan Holt is leading this race, and Leitzel has caught him from quite a ways back, just laid in a 2:18.6 on the heels of another 2:18.6. He went 2:18.6 back-to-back. Those are the fastest laps of the race, and he has caught Evan Holt out front. They are 12 seconds ahead of everybody else, and the fight for the lead is on. Look at this line, outside to in for Leitzel into the race lead at Fox Raceway. Use that same line we saw Matherly use on Heilman, and Leitzel is moving here on the number 3.
The outside line looks like it must be getting dug in, because my experience in just watching other riders, even, well, ones faster than me, weren't really using that outside because it's a spot that you could get past. But I think maybe once it breaks in, you have a little bit more to rail off of there, and these guys are making it work, slingshotting, and then ending up with the inside into the corner, where it doesn't seem to start out that way. We are 10 minutes into this moto, so only a third of the way through so far. But Logan Leitzel, man, he's absolutely sending it right now and doing exactly what you would expect a guy with a single digit on his number plate to do. as he gets the triple across there. That triple double out is a little bit difficult for these 250 riders, but man, these guys are absolutely sending it. Logan Leitzel having a great showing so far, and really not exactly, maybe not what I expected, but didn't have a blazing fast qualifying time where I thought he was just going to come out and dominate these guys. But he's still not separated from Evan Holt behind him, still trying to put some pressure on him, moving up the inside. Makes a little bit of a mistake at the bottom of that corner, so he will lose a little bit of time up this step up.
Hey, who would you say would be like your clear favorites coming into this season? I mean, with Shirley moving up, it opens up space for so many guys to have a chance. Who would be like your top 3 to 5 guys you would think has a chance of winning the championship?
Yeah, I overlooked some guys. I feel like maybe the 250 Supercross season, both coasts are going to be in my head a little bit, thinking of who performed well there. Looking past those guys like Seth Carr, Rasmus Balzer, John Heilman, those guys that Hayden Stevenson that were competing for championships or just outside of it. Looking past that, I need to almost remember that Logan Leitzel is a past champion. Luke Sullivan and Cade Matherly have won races before and kind of battled up front. And it's one of those things where I forgot that some of these guys, and now I'm like having my mind woken up. Oh, these guys are championship contenders, where I kind of just forgot about Luke Sullivan as a contender. But so maybe there's those 6 or 7 guys right now that I named, and I might be missing 1 or 2 with some bad starts, but those guys are kind of in my head.
11 minutes of this moto down, almost 12 complete as Logan Leitzel leads the field around. Evan Holt has settled into that second spot, and Cade Matherly on a mission has moved into third. It was still Leitzel fastest rider on the track last time by at a 220.2, but Matherly at a 221.1 was definitely cooking. He's also bringing Seth Carr with him, who Carr had a bad start in this race. Many people in chat have said that over and over again, and Seth Carr is certainly moving his way forward, bringing Luke Sullivan with him. So really good mix of some fast riders at the front of this field right now as they all try to train their way forward and catch that lead group featuring Logan Leitzel and Evan Holt. Cepeda, Heilman, Gatland, and Race Cobble behind that, with Rasmus Balzer now rounding out the top 10. There is a gaggle of riders right in this group right here. Nerona, Perkins, J.R. Reyes, Dylan Dallaire. Jumping off the track there was Perkins. So we got 5 riders nose to tail, and this is just at the tail end of points right now as Lucas Brune is in the final points paying position. He just passed J.R. Reyes to move into 19th. But man, oh man, we always talk about the battles throughout the field, and even this back here, these guys are just fighting for 1 or 2 points, and they're still absolutely going for it.
Yeah, this is something I think that kind of gets missed, and I'm so excited to have it back in outdoors, is these guys, as we saw a rider down on a Triumph, I think they're passing, so they're all moving up 1 spot, but you might have this battle from 16 to 22nd that lasts 37 minutes of an outdoor race, and we might almost never see it. Luckily, the races are longer, so we do get some chances to go back and check them out. But these guys, Lucas Brune with a huge save. These guys are just in these death battles with the same guys, and sometimes it's the same guy every single week that you're just in a battle around. But these things happen right now, and when you do come out on top, or you do end up beating those couple guys you were battling with, it feels almost just as good as a win.
Oh man, Brune almost jumping into the back there. I think that's Perkins, and then he lays it down on the inside. J.R. Reyes goes by, and the battles will continue throughout the field. Let's pick back up to the front of the field as we go through every rider here. Luke Sullivan and Seth Carr have gotten away from Cade Matherly. Looks like he may have gone down 228.3 last time by, and this battle has certainly opened up quite a bit as Logan Leitzel has pulled this thing out to 6 seconds on Evan Holt in the race lead. Just starting to kind of lock in and cruise as we approach the halfway point of this race. We know Leitzel, a former champion of this class, he knows how to get it done. So this could be bad news for the competition. If this is the Leitzel that we are going to see in 2024, look out everybody else.
Yeah, his last lap time, I think, was like the 3rd best of the race, only slower than Seth Carr's actual fastest. His best lap time was a 2:18.6, so he's just got that pace that's different than everyone. Is just a little bit better everywhere and smooth. He doesn't really look like he's sending it. He doesn't look out of position. And that's, as I say that, goes off the berm, pushes wide, tire taps the hay bale, keeps it on 2 wheels though. And actually, if that's the split timer came across, increased time. might actually not lose anything from that. But it's really dangerous when you see someone come out, especially first moto of the year, and ride like they're not even trying and kind of pull away from everyone. So the rest of the field, you got to be either stressing, or maybe you're just saying, okay, I had a bad start, I had some nerves, and try to regroup for the second moto. But if Logan Leitzel does this both motos here today, I think there's going to be some guys kind of rethinking what they got to do to kind of put themselves up top.
Yeah, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board real quick and try to figure out what the heck is going on. There's Cade Matherly, John Heilman now closing up on Matherly. So Matherly's started to fall off a little bit here. He was really cooking early in the race, and now he slipped back into the clutches of Heilman. There's Race Cobble, and then Cepeda dealing with Balzer once again. So Balzer going to be annoyed that he fell off early in the race from the race lead, but still finds himself in a good position as now Jack Gatlin goes by him on the TM Factory Racing number 29 machine. So these fights all still materializing as we get past the halfway point of this moto. Not a lot of close action happening on the track right now as Leitzel continues to check in with this early race lead. So Todd, it kind of looks like this is going to be the storyline of this racetrack. Maybe close racing early on, but as it continues to deteriorate, these battles will really start to stagnate and get a little bit spread apart.
I would say so. Maybe in these, like the middle part of the races, yeah, for sure. I feel like everybody's kind of spaced out, kind of doing their own thing. You're gonna have a few people probably, coming back from a bad start and pushing. You'll probably start to see more action towards the end of the moto. Guys moving up and trying to make passes. But I mean, right now I'm looking at lap times. Like Seth's running a 2:18.6 as his fastest, which is only he and Seth Carr are the only ones breaking the 2:20 barrier at all. And it seems like Seth is starting to make moves on Evan a little bit. Like he's catching little by little. I think he's our guy to watch right now, as far as anyone trying to make a solid move on the guy in front of him.
Yeah, Seth Carr starting to fire on all cylinders here after he got around Cade Matherly. He definitely had to come from a ways back early in this race, but he is on the move. 2:19.9, 2:19.1 his best, and he can finally see second place up ahead of him in Evan Holt. So like you said, Todd, Seth Carr really clicking these laps together, really stringing it together at the midpoint of this race. And that's going to be the difference as these motos go on and on and on. If you can start getting faster as the moto goes on, that's where you'll really start making some good inroads on battling for the lead before this thing is done.
Yeah, and there's guys like Seth Carr that just do have that speed. And even though you got a bad start, like Todd was saying earlier, you have so much time to be able to bring it back. And he doesn't really have to worry about it as long as he's not getting maybe his first lap or two, just getting into fall after fall after fall and setting himself, a minute back. But if he's able to, if you go down on the start and you have speed like Seth Carr right now, especially after this confidence, you just know, okay, even if I go down, I can still end up on the podium. And that's going to be dangerous for these guys. And I think that gives Logan Leitzel something to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you give Carr and Matherly perhaps the starts at the front of this field that we saw Leitzel get, he was obviously third off the start, got into the lead fairly quickly. We may have a better battle on our hands for the second moto. And that's not to say this first one is over yet. It just takes one crash for Leitzel to fall back into these guys' clutches. But the speed difference is not as vast as it would appear with Leitzel having this big lead in the race. These guys have been cooking all moto long, and now Carr in a position where he can maybe battle and get into second before this is over, minimize the damage, and go into the second moto with a win needed to win the overall here today at the opening round.
Yeah, I've said it, and he was, I kind of always said Seth Carr is a great starter, get some hot laps, but a little bit maybe sketchy, kind of pushing the limits too much, getting a little bit, as we see him make a bobble there. I think the difference is with Seth Carr compared to Logan Leitzel is Logan looks like he's running these lap times and doesn't look like he's trying, and is pretty consistently smooth from what we've seen so far these first 20 minutes. And Seth Carr right now, his last two laps, I've seen him make a lot of mistakes as we've been watching him. So he does have the speed to get up to a podium spot, but if he starts together with Logan, is he going to be trying to ride that pace and that's a little bit over his head, whereas Logan can just kind of run that with his eyes closed kind of.
Yeah, so you can see now Carr lapping, might be his Panini Motorsports teammate there. Is that Jet Wisdom that he just went by? Let's see. Could be, or it could be Jeremy Siebold even that he maybe just passed. Yeah, it must be Siebold, I guess. Oh, here we go. Up the inside. Carr slides through on Evan Holt, and Holt lays it down. Must have hit the rear tire of Carr as he went by. So Seth Carr moves up into second place. And now the real chase is on. This may not be for the win of the moto, but we'll get a really good indication here as to whether or not Seth Carr's race speed is better than what Logan Leitzel's putting down. Leitzel 14.8 seconds up with 10 minutes left to go in this race. Could have this thing in the bag, but as I say that who was that just went down? It might have been Thomas Sunis? No, who went down right in front of him there?
All-white kit. I don't know.
All-white kit copying his flow bar for bar.
Yeah, maybe Harrison Gafford or Jaden Gomez, someone back there.
We just saw someone completely go OTB yard sale behind Logan a couple turns ago. RIP to that man. So yeah, this is going to be fun to see. It's going to be just kind of watching that gap. You have 12.7 seconds right now, so we'll kind of have to keep an eye on that. 10 minutes plus 2 laps to go, so probably about 15 minutes left in this moto for these guys. It feels like it's halfway, or it feels like it's halfway at 30 minutes, but it's really not when you add in those 2 extra laps. So just going to keep an eye on these guys and see what happens. I think this is big for Carr to kind of see what you can do. If this gap gets bigger, it's going to be hard for him next moto to have that confidence.
And look, last time by, because Leitzel was dealing with some of that lap traffic issues and maybe a couple other small mistakes, Seth Carr went basically 3.5 seconds faster, 2:22.2 versus a 2:25.6 out of Leitzel. So there you go. It just takes a few of those laps, and suddenly we maybe have a bit more of a race on our hands. 13.5 second lead for Leitzel. One crash could always do it as well. You never quite know in MX Simulator. One fall-off crash, usually about 8 to 12 seconds, and then we suddenly have a race on our hands. Just looking through the top 5, and everybody else pretty spread apart. Cade Matherly, maybe the loneliest rider on track right now. 12 seconds ahead of him, 14 seconds behind him. And that's tough, man. If you're all by yourself, even if you're in a top 5 position, it's tough to find motivation to go either forward or not crash.
And the thing is, I've been in that position before, and it depends on where you're at. I said sometimes you get in that flow state and you're, say you're in 5th place all by yourself. Sometimes you just don't even realize what you're doing and you're just riding, putting in laps. But sometimes you're in 5th place and you really have to work for it. You struggle with the track. Maybe you had the ability, you think you could have won with your speed, but your every single lap is just high heart rate and a lot of nerves. And that's when it's really tedious because you're by yourself. There's no one to match. You don't realize if your pace is too fast or too slow. And that can be pretty hard. So I'm praying for Cade Matherly that he's in one of those states where he's just kind of cruising, flowing around the track, and locked in, or else this is going to be a long, next 10, 12 minutes for him.
Update from chat. Carr had an accident. I'm assuming that means he actually crashed and went back to 3rd. So hopefully he didn't pee his pants, as Todd or as Awood just mentioned right there. But we'll see if he can regroup and maybe repass Evan Holt. That has tightened up the 2-3-4 battle on the track, because now Sully can see Seth Carr just ahead of him, 2.2 seconds up the track, and then another 2 seconds ahead of that is Evan Holt. 21-second lead for Logan Leitzel now with 6 minutes left to go in this race, and it certainly seems like he is on his way to winning the first moto of the year here at Fox Raceway. But Carr, he is back on it again. He is trying to go get Evan Holt for second.
I mean, looking at a guy like Cade Matherly, are you thinking that he's kind of, like as Awood was saying, just settling in because it's a long season, right? Like, this is first race of the year. Like, there's no need to just ride over your head and just try to send it for, try to get a podium right now with the position he's in. Like, just settle in, get your first race in, and then just, try to build from there.
Yeah, I mean, even if you finish 5th in this moto, you only lost 9 points, and 9 points sounds like a lot, but when you have 22 motos, you can gain all that back pretty quickly. So you might be right. It might be a situation where Matherly realized he got himself in a position where he's just got to try to settle into this spot, take a 5th, and maybe go out and try to win the second moto. So for the second time in about 4 laps here, we're going to see Seth Carr go to work on Evan Holt and try to pass into second place. We saw this about 10 minutes ago. We're back here again 25 minutes into the moto, and Carr is working on the 18 machine. This is 18 of Evan Holt versus the 15 of Seth Carr. Carr down the inside, going to rip that inside rut. Holtzy missed it, and Carr makes an easy pass in the end to move back into P2.
Yeah, that was about as easy as you could ask for. Talking to Todd's point, I think, especially when it's the first moto, And one, it's so early on. Yeah, the season is shorter rounds wise, but there's more motos than Supercross rounds. I think you just kind of settle in and you go whatever spot you're in. If there's nothing that you can see really within your grasp, maybe within the next couple seconds, it's kind of just put down your best lap times that you can do consistently. Don't have a fall off, and just that kind of gets you where you can get you. I have had times where I've been doing bad and I've been in 25th with 5-10 minutes to go, and I kind of look at the track map and I ask my spotter, I'm like, who is at that corner right there? Like, what position is that? And they'll be like 15th, and I'm like, okay, I can get there. And I kind of set myself a mental marker, but I'm not really pushing a little bit, harder. Maybe going half a second faster a lap. But I'm just like, that's my personal goal of where I think I can get with the speed I have right now, and don't fall above all else. So I think if you're not going for an overall that would either get you on a podium early on, it's just kind of stay where you're at and stay alive.
Well, staying where he's at is the race leader in this one, Logan Leitzel. He has checked out at the front of this field. It's not often we see all the speculation and everything coming into a new season. Basically, the field is about as full as it will be in the 250 class.
Second?
Yeah, battle for second is on. Evan Holt got back around. No, Seth Carr went down.
Seth Carr went down. Luke Sullivan is now battling with Holtz.
Oh, and Sully launching out to flat down the inside. Let's see if Holtzy rips this outside and holds it. He does, because Sullivan missed that inside rut. But was about to say with Leitzel, it's not often that we speculate coming into a season who's going to win the opening moto, what's going to happen, and then you just have a guy dominate it. It's not often that happens, but Logan Leitzel is laying down the pipe right now. 27-second lead here, 27 minutes into this moto. Pretty darn good out of the number 3. This battle for second is on, though. Sullivan wants a piece of Evan Holt. Holtzy, he just can't get away. He keeps holding on to second, finds another guy to battle. That guy crashes, and then that guy catches up. Or in this case, Sully finally has caught the rear fender of Evan Holt for second place. So Holtzy's trying to lock down a P2 finish at the first moto of the year. These guys want something else to say about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta just regroup and kind of get the best start, I think, or the best start they can in the second moto to try to kind of kill that confidence early. Because if I come in the first moto of the year with a 30-second lead, and I go out there and I win the second moto, I'm riding that high for a long, long time. When you one moto win, I'm still riding that high 11 years later. So, but these guys, I mean, they got to answer back, whether it's Matherly, Holtzy, who's Evan is having a better ride than I thought, Sullivan. These guys need to get a good start and need to do something to stop this from happening again in second moto.
Oh, Holtzy front end over the rut right there, and that small mistake cost him second place yet again. Sullivan goes by. Also, of note, suddenly Cade Matherly is at an outside shot of getting onto the box in this moto. This is 2 through 5 still separated by just 6 seconds with the closing stages of this moto coming up. We've got a minute and a half left to go plus 2 laps, and Matherly suddenly can sense an opportunity. He's actually right behind Seth Carr, who just went off your screen right there, and Cade Matherly might not be done with this thing before the moto's over.
Yeah, it seems like now he just, like we were talking about earlier, like you just let the race come to you. Like all these guys in front of him are just battling, making their own mistakes. Like Cade is just like, all right, like if I ride this speed and I'm comfortable at this speed, like, hey, I'll take a 5th. But if I do consistent laps at this speed as well, and the guys in front of me are making mistakes, like I can capitalize too. So I think that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, crazy thing looking at the live timing we got going on is there's a 33-second gap from first to second. Then second and third are 1 second apart.
Jeez.
Fourth and fifth as Matherly goes
and Holtzy
down.
And Carr, they're all down on this tabletop.
What the heck happened?
Very weird sequence of events. Matherly's going to get up and pass Holtzy for
now it's full
4
send.
spot. And then Seth Carr is still right in front of him. Sullivan suddenly gets a massive 10-second gap to second place all by himself. I think maybe Seth Carr and Holtzy got together ahead of Matherly.
And he hit
Matherly
him.
reacting went left and then just nailed the pole on the base of that jump right there. So that was really odd, but suddenly it sets us up for a really rip-roaring battle for this third position to close this thing out. Time is just about to expire. Let's see, did Leitzel? Yeah, time is going to expire, so 2 laps to go. This time by as this battle for third continues to rage on.
Yeah, just finishing up, what I was going to say is then I look at those gaps of everyone being so tight, and there was about 36 seconds before the next guy. So that's when you say, okay, you know what? I'm at 5th, and 2nd is 3 seconds ahead. Let me just full send for the rest of the moto because I can't get worse than 5th. That's what you're looking at so deep in the moto. And after that crash right there, those guys all got up and started holding it wide open, trying to just be the best one. Seth Carr blows that rut right there. We see him go down, lose some time there. That's a bummer for him. But, man, now he's just looking at the back of this pack.
Yeah, Cade Matherly went by to get into 3rd now. So 1, 2, 3 is Leitzel, Sullivan, Matherly as it runs. 2 laps to go this time by. Seth Carr trying to mount another charge as Evan Holt has slipped all the way back to 5th. But the good news for him is he's got about 20 seconds, 24 seconds back to Braden Tharp in 6th. Then you got Race Cobble 7th, and that is a lapper ahead of him. Manuel Cepeda 8th, John Heilman 9th, and then Maverick Snyder in 10th. Man, Rasmus Balzer has been about 10th place this entire moto. He's going to go right back into 10th place now as he goes around Snyder, who just laid it down. But your early leader has just been hovering at 10th place the entire race from that point on.
Yeah, kind of a bummer to see that start where, you know, we see someone who just came off a title getting a good start and went down, and you're like, oh, it's okay. He's going to end up back up there, but, you know, just keeps falling. And, you know, could be this track, could be nerves, could be whatever. He can definitely turn this thing around, but we're going to have to just see how he kind of keeps this going throughout the second moto and then into the next upcoming round. See if he can put himself up there as a contender. One bad moto at the start of the year, top 10's not even bad in outdoors. So one moto where you're a little bit off pace isn't really a deal breaker there for you.
So he is going to try to hold down this 10th position, get a good result here. Lap traffic coming into play as Race Cobble, Emmanuel Cepeda battling each other. They just went around a couple lappers right there. Cepeda down, almost saved it, slid all the way across the track, then just taps his head on the SpongeBob and says sayonara to the race right there that he was in. He's going to slip back to the battle with Balzer closing in from 10th. Peek back up towards the front as these guys are going to come and take the white flag this time by. There is Logan Leitzel closing in on the final lap of this race. And, man, I think he crashed his lap even, and he's still got a 34-second lead. This has been one of the more impressive first motos of the year we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, looking like Ryan Dungey out there, just kind of dominating the rest of the field. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things we talked about. Who's gonna do it, and then this happens. But I'm just really interested to see. You know, not that I totally overlooked Logan Leitzel as a possibility for this championship or to even win this race, but if this comes out and this happens next moto, it's gonna be. Could be another really boring year, like Seth Shirley made it last year for the championship battle, and really scary for these guys. So I'm hoping we do see a little bit of parity or at least a little bit of a closer race in the second moto, but Logan Leitzel is just absolutely dominating this class right now.
He is cooking them up as he's worked his way through quite a few lappers. Looks like he has just now teetered his way into lapping riders in the points-paying positions as well. So always going to be tough on this final lap to navigate not getting involved in their battles. They're trying to fight for points all the way to the checkered flag, but Leitzel is just trying to put it in cruise control. Here's Sullivan still in a fight with Seth Carr. Here's Carr right behind him, and this battle for second is on the final lap of the race. The 11 of Sullivan on the TSCZ Productions machine ahead of the Panini Motorsports ride of Seth Carr, who left behind his Rainbow Six Siege program and has moved over to Panini, who has returned to action this year to try to close this gap down on the final lap of the race and make a pass for second place. Who gets it between these two?
I like Sullivan, maybe just for his veteran savviness, his experience. And I just think he's looked a little bit better, but this moto a little bit more consistent. They've all had their mistakes. That's why they're back here riding together. But Seth Carr is a little bit more sendy with some speed. As Sullivan does actually, he's the one to make the mistake, and Seth Carr is going to go by in that roller section. That's critical. You nail a triple in there somewhere. Luke Sullivan went about 2.5 and just made that mistake. So, yeah, Mike, can I change my pick now?
Change your pick after the fact, but we're going to change our cameras here to the race winner, because here it comes. 2 turns left to go for the number 3 of Logan Leitzel, the Yogi Designs rider, our 2023 RaceFactory Gaming National Champion in this 250 class, returns back to a 250 and goes right back to the top. A dominating first moto of the year. Logan Leitzel takes 250 Moto 1 here at Fox Raceway, and a beautiful display there to kick things off. Oh, and then down goes Seth Carr out of second on the final lap of the race with 3 turns to go. He coughs it back up to Sullivan, who is going to take it. Awood was going to change his pick, and good thing he didn't, because Sullivan made it happen in the end anyway.
Yeah, I was just replying to someone in chat that said I had the commentator's curse, and I said happens every single time, and as I almost pressed send, he went down. Oh my God!
And he goes down now too.
I was going to say race isn't over.
Seth Carr through the final turn is going to move back into second place, and that actually gives up another position. Matherly went by as well. Carr will end up in second, Matherly third, and Sullivan goes from second to fourth in literally the final turn of the race. You hate to see it. He warmed his arm up and threw it away. Evan Holt looks like he's going to cross in the 5 spot. John Heilman, ooh, this is going to be a good fight to the end. Heilman, Balzer, and Cepeda still going at it for the 6, 7, 8 position. Balzer absolutely dirty and just pulls it together and then finds a tough block and goes down. And then Cepeda goes down in front of him. Everybody's crashing on the final lap. Nobody wants to stay on 2 wheels. Here comes Jack Gatlin as Balzer picks it up. Cepeda going across the track. Chaos has ensued. Holtze finishes up 5th. Heilman's going to be 6th. Balzer 7th. Gatlin potentially 8th, but Cepeda's going to fight him tooth and nail to the line. Let's see who gets it between these two. Gatlin high-centered on the rut. Cepeda a good drive. Down to the end. They both scrub. Gatlin a little bit better. Gets a nose and crosses the line in 8th. Tharp 10th. Vanderkoy 11th. Cobble, again, another fight to the flag. Just noses out Snyder for 12th. 13th for Snyder. 14th for Jack Mark. 15th will be Austin Schaefer, 16th for Lucas Brune, 17th Ben Nerona, and 18th for J.R. Reyes, the last rider on the lead lap to kick off Nationals in 2024. Stevenson and Cole Betts round out our top 20 points-paying positions here at the opening round.
That's all-time for me. Commentator's curse right there.
That is all-time commentator's curse. You absolutely
that was pretty bad. I
screwed him.
Doubled down on it.
You screwed him, Awood.
Emmanuel Cepeda too. That was just great.
You just did him so dirty,
Balzer,
man.
Toss, Cepeda, OTB, Indonesia. Oh man, I'm Luke Sullivan. I would like to publicly apologize. No.
Well, you should, because you screwed him.
Pride myself as a man of faith. Deep drive.
As there's a deep drive into left field, and that'll make it a 4-0 race here at Fox Raceway. Oh man! All right.
How about Logan Leitzel though,
Dude,
what the heck? Like, we're all questioning, like, okay, maybe there's 3 to 5 guys that can do it, blah blah blah. But like, Logan saw the door. He didn't just creak and look in.
Dude.
He fully roundhouse kicked that thing open.
I'm
it's
telling
Daddy's
you right
home.
now, if winning the first National of the Year was you know what, dude, Logan Leitzel absolutely laid pipe out here, man. I'll tell you what, he just crushed these guys to the tune of 41 seconds after penalties come in. Seth Carr, Cade Matherly round out the box here. Change?
Change?
No, top 5 still the same. Okay. Chill down. You're good.
Going fast. Was there a change? No, still 2.25 seconds between Cepeda and 8th place right there, and it stays exactly 0.25 seconds over a 35-minute race. That's pretty crazy. There's no cuts in there.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that at all.
Kellen, you said you're horny tonight.
I know. We're going straight to horny jail out here, dude.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Right to jail. Yeah, no, that was a good race, though. I like that one a lot. I think that was exactly what we were hoping to see. And this is where we're at, right? No horny tonight. Right to jail. Right to jail. But, yeah, that was a good one. And hopefully we will get to see some better action in the 450 class. I think we will. I think we're going to see a great 450 race coming up right now.
I mean, I think that race was awesome though too. We definitely got, just lastly kind of wrapping up that 250, to have your leader winning by 35 seconds but have second through fifth in both two different battles that are 1 second apart within 5 seconds on the track. It's like at least that podium is still completely wide open, you know, and then we had a big drop off from there. But domination from Lightsol. You have some other guys that have some good
Smile, Todd. On the stream, we're taking selfies.
Sorry, taking selfies. We are, you know, they're thinking they're doing good. So, yeah, I don't know.
They're thinking they're doing good. That's A-Wood's analysis of the night here. They are thinking they're doing good. Deep thoughts.
Use a couple drinks.
I only not even two. I took the selfie and I got distracted there. I was like, pause to smile, and I was like, oh, look at this. And I was like, where was I? Okay, goddamn. 68 in Cali is crazy.
It's perfect, dude.
But the temp
dude,
right now?
It's gonna be 65 for Fox Raceway on Saturday.
Never happened.
That's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Ever before it.
Dude, I remember going
to... It's like
to
85 and 102 for the two
Remember
rounds.
Lake Elsinore in like 2011? It was like 108. Yeah. Like people were ready to pass. It was bad. Like 65, I'll take that all day. That's so nice. Yeah,
and you would think a track called Lake Elsinore would have like some water near it.
No.
Oh, it's below the water level. No. The lake is over there, a half a mile. This is dry lake bed.
Dude, yeah, it was bad. That was easily the worst national I've ever been to in person. It was horrible.
I'm sorry, Luke. I cursed you 5 times. Luke Sullivan showed up in chat. Whatever you do, just don't watch the last like lap and a half of that race, and then we'll be good. Yeah, he said not again. I cursed him again.
Not again.
So we have me always. You have a 2-second basically fastest qualifier in Payson Johnson coming back. Haven't seen him in a while. We'll see what happens, but you got defending champion Alexis Leclerc. You've got all these guys. What do we think we're going to see? Is one of these guys going to run away and dominate? Is there going to be a 20-plus second lead by the winner? Or do you think this class is going to be a little bit closer?
I don't know. I mean, look, Payson just was 1.3 seconds faster in qualifying. Our defending champion was 4 seconds off in qualifying. This has all the makings of grabbing our pillows and going to sleep early in this moto. However, I think we're going to see something good out here right now. I think this is going to be a good battle. I think Payson's not going to get a good start, and I think we're going to watch him fight through the field while chaos reigns supreme out front.
You think Payson's washed?
No. I think honestly, isn't that pretty standard for him though? Like,
he does crash in the first
whole shot or win.
Yeah.
I'm not no shade. I'm just saying I think that's kind of his deal, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a bad call that's going to happen.
No, whole shot and win, or
Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
Or 40th to 3rd. No, I'm saying Payson's washed, but it's okay. Will there be, if Payson is racing, will there be Payson drama this season?
Payson drama as in he's getting involved in crashes, or what are you talking about?
Dirty riding, controversy.
I think we're good. I think we've turned over a new leaf with Payson Johnson.
You think him being like
I
year older?
I like to believe in second chances. You know.
He's a year older and a year smarter. Yeah?
I mean, you tell me.
I don't know.
You don't know. So you pitch the question, you don't have an answer for me.
No, that's why I'm asking the question.
Good answer. You know what? I need you guys to pick me a Design Lab Co. Whole Shot Award winner here. Brought to you by thedesignlabco.com. Head over there. Check out all the stuff that they got going on. A lot of cool stuff over there. Nick Porter, former pro sim racer in this game. Always out here giving us the goods. Good dude, as Todd Gutierrez would vouch for over there in the corner. Porter!
Fucking love Porter. He's a really good guy.
You know what? I'm going to call Shirley. I think he comes out just guns blazing. Like April's holy.
There's the big one. Alexis Leclerc. First time we've seen Alexis Leclerc with the #1 machine since 2021.
And it's on a sexy ass Honda.
The thing does look pretty clean.
Nothing looks better. I could never get
the table
that.
Right there.
Bobby Big Lines, hit the track. I mean, Payson Johnson, whole shot.
I'm going Hubbard.
Okay.
Okay, dude.
Okay.
Dennis Fjellberg is so happy watching that number 3 just take a win. Reminds him of the golden days, 2014, just running away from A Wood, trying to take him out, winning races.
Todd, you got a pick for the whole shot? Did you pick one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Coming out guns blazing, dude.
Coming out guns blazing. All right, folks, here we go. First 450 Moto of the year. Tyler Lang right there in the middle of the 9 of Braden Carter, a little bit inside of him. Leclerc down the inside of that, and Payson Johnson makes his return to racing. Let's go, 450 racing at Fox Raceway. Pretty good jump from T. Lang. Let's see if Hubbard closes the gap down on the inside. He will get to the corner first. Does he get the whole shot? No, it's going to go to Payson Johnson by a nose. He gets the knobby across the line first for the Design Lab whole shot. Fastest qualifier
brother?
out front.
Special teams, special players. Payson Johnson, that's my boy, number 1. I told you, championship favorite from the start. No, but I think this could either be a very boring race now, or, see some action. Payson Johnson loves to send. He is, I think, the king of, I always talk about these guys, Seth Carr. There's some other ones, but I talk about them that are just insanely fast guys, huge triple, double right there. That just kind of have the speed, but they can't keep it together. Payson Johnson has proven that time and time again. He's had years where he's consistent and years where he's too fast for his own good. So we're going to have to see which version of Payson Johnson we get. Right now, though, he's definitely got the speed. I don't think that's ever changed.
No, I don't think the speed ever went away, but it's more about, can we see the old Payson Johnson show up yet again? He has been sometimes inconsistent of late, especially when we saw him race a few times in Supercross. It was not quite the same Payson that we come to know and expect in terms of a consistent, strong front runner. So we'll see if he's able to turn it around at the start of Nationals. Ooh, mistake from T. Lang out of the 4 spot, and a big old crash back there, taking down Donovan.
Oh, Donovan from the LCQ to the show.
Donovan
was down in the top 5 early.
Could have had it, but he lays it down instead. So a ton of different guys go by.
Gear?
Is that Turley? Are you talking about Turley, right?
Yeah,
there he is. Oh, there he is.
Bringing it from Supercross Outdoors.
He's been wearing that same gear since like 2014.
Yeah.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix
Released
it.
the Galaxy track video and then Galaxy gear and hasn't changed. Runs the Vince Freeze number just to, show you what he's got going on a little bit.
He's on a 125 in the 450 class. He's not even on a 125.
I mean, I think I'm 125. I think of Daniel Blair. That's my go-to.
I was going to
say
say
Vince Freeze's number.
Blair to Freeze to Turley, just those 3 guys they just fit, man. They fit together. There's something, they're built a little bit different. In what way? You decide. Spencer Turley, though, still continuing his great start that he had from Supercross. Out here popping with the boys. Moving up, Nico Martini.
He's out here busting with the boys, too. I'll tell you what right now,
Awesome.
As we are going to go back up to a battle for the 3 spot. T. Lang versus Frank Jackson. Braden Castellaneta right behind that. Your defending champion, Alexis Leclerc, is in 16th place early in this one. He's trying to make some early amends from a crash. And right on cue, Braden Carter, 32nd, your reigning Supercross champion. Not off to a good start. Oh, we got a Superman double pits to Chesty. Frank Jackson off the right side of the track. Going to lose 3, 4 positions, 5, 6. 6 spots that he goes back and falls just inside of the top 10. Now he is 10th, actually, behind Chase Blakely, Nico Marchini, Noah Bindis. There is Seth Shirley making his 450 class debut on a 450. First time we've seen him outdoors, and he's looking to do some damage this year as well as a rookie in this field. Timothy Lucas on the Burp Moto Rising Stars machine down the inside makes a snazzy little pass on Dylan Cavicciuti, and he is going to make that stick. As also going by goes Seth Shirley. There's a couple Panini Motorsports riders. Damn, Panini has got tons of riders this year. Good Lord.
Are they the new Phils?
They are the new Phils. Looking at the top 12, I see 1 Phils rider, 2, I guess, if that counts. Leclerc, who's got just crypto in his name, and I see about 4 Panini guys. So
Payson launching on the table.
2:13.7.
Oh, okay,
and now
goddamn.
you guys are seeing why he qualified almost 2 seconds faster than the rest of, or than the next fastest rider. Basically 3 or 4 seconds faster than the rest of the field in his class. Payson Johnson pulling out some crazy stuff. I'm sure we probably got to watch him for a lap.
I'm just going to watch from third person because I just want to see all the stupid stuff he's going to do right now.
It's kind of ridiculous what he does right here, and just his setup, his style, like the way he rides.
It is a clean setup, I will say. I like this Honda Fox setup a lot.
He looks like the SLR guys. Off-road.
Looks like
A little
Shimoda.
bit.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but those guys are in fly.
SLR Hondas are sexy though, that's a good
yeah.
comp for me.
Looks like Shimoda to me. Like everything about
For
it
sure.
except
The
bike is
gear and the
Shimoda.
monster,
But yeah, he's doing some stupid stuff. 14.2 second lead, and I think the pillows are already coming out. You can see the fans and the spectators on the infield starting to go from a standing position to a laying down position. They're ready to go to sleep as Johnson lays down some ridiculous laps at the front of this field 5 minutes in. Look at the map in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right there. There is nobody in the vicinity of Payson Johnson, and there's just a gaggle of riders back there behind him as he jumps down the hill. So I want to see what other stupid lines that these people are talking about, because he is cooking.
Hit the Gok 5000
Gok
on the
Gok.
stream right there. Look at Payson, how deep he sends it into that rut, is able to get turned right there. His style as well, I almost thought of like SLR for off-road guys because of the handguards, but his style is very like plain. He seems like he just rides different. His rider looks stiffer, the way his suspension is set up, and it just kind of looks a little bit different. It reminds me of not of like a motocross or supercross rider. It's a little bit more boring, I would almost say. But it's just so functional, exactly what you need it to be.
Jumping over the finish line, boring?
No, what he does not boring. It's like he like sits forward on the bike, or either sits down or stands up a lot. Like he does something that's really weird that looks different from the way that other people, maybe his mass distribution or the way his rider body kind of leans, different settings you can have in the game. It just looks a little bit different watching him from that third person than a lot of other riders.
Yeah.
He is gone at the front of the field. T-Lang has moved up into second. He went 2:13.7, 2:14.9. Get this. Nobody else is in the 2 teens except T-Lang, who just laid in a 2:17. Finally, we got Frank Jackson at a 2:19, 2:18.0 out of Seth Shirley. Everybody else 2:20 and above. Like, what are we doing out here? He is 6 seconds a lap faster than everybody else on the track, basically, except T-Lang right now. This is ridiculous what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, looking at best lap times through 3 laps for these guys, it's like there's 4 of them inside the top 12 that are in the teens, and he's done it every single time. Oh my God,
And
T-Lang just
hit the pole again.
He hit the
We got
pole
too many
and
people
go-
pole
they gotta-
dancing on this jump out here
Someone clip
tonight,
that.
all
Did
right?
he hit the pole and go up to the top? Because I swear I saw him falling
He's dancing
like a stripper. I feel like he fell from the top of the screen, like he went all the way up and then fell down. Absolutely crazy, but Payson Johnson is just unreal, and this might be the new most boring championship season we've seen.
First moto, we're 7 minutes in and Awood's calling it already.
I mean, first moto last year, I was calling Jet perfect season, and I had no qualms about it.
All right, fair. We see where you're coming from, Awood.
Me and Daniel Blair just, if you're a Jet, we're glazing.
We're glazing as T-Lang is just putting in the work in second. 27 seconds behind. It is 8 minutes
Jeez.
into this moto. He's 27 seconds behind. I just do not get it. Payson Johnson is on a different planet on this racetrack right now. It's insane.
On this pace, how far does he lap up to?
I don't even know, man. I don't even want to start thinking about it because
Six.
it's gonna
How
be
many laps
sad
did they
how
do?
Math
numbered
is
it
too
yeah.
hard.
They're doing like probably 15, 16, 17 laps if they're just over 2
He
minutes.
he just jumped off the track before the finish, an obvious mistake that cost him a lot of time. He still went 2:15.4, still 2 seconds faster than anybody else's best lap. So I don't even know at this point. He's gonna lap himself, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Jacob Hubbard in third here is dealing with Cavicciuti and Frank Jackson behind him, and this is the battles we're watching right now, folks.
I'm so down to watch the battle for like 10th, 15th, 20th for the rest of the season if he keeps doing this. But what's the record of lapping up that we've seen in sim? I feel like there's got to be like a third or fourth.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know about outdoors, but definitely in Supercross we've seen up to third.
Because I think he could be the first lap the whole field that we've seen. I mean, he's 30 seconds in. Let's see. 9 minutes, so he's just under a third. Probably a quarter though, with the added 2 laps. Closer to a quarter.
It's about 90. So that'd be about if he stays at this pace. If it was you take what's happening right now, he'd be almost 90 seconds ahead of Lang at the end.
So I mean, yeah, a minute and a half, and you're running he's easily. I feel like gonna lap inside the top 5. I feel like if he stays like this, doesn't fall, but like. It's just crazy. As the track breaks down, it gets rougher. This is unreal. This is 2015 Tomac. This is Hangtown. This is Glen Helen. This is just dominating like the rest of the field by a minute and a half. This is absolutely crazy. But we'll watch everyone else.
Long Moto.
Long Moto. There's still time for him to warm the arm up. We'll see.
The pace is crazy, though.
Yeah, like these guys are laying down very good lap times. Like
2:17s.
No squalms at all about 2:20s, 2:21s, 2:17s, 2:19 out of Braden Castellaneta, who's in 15th, by the way. Braden Carter's made it all the way up to 21st. Leclerc is now 12th. So some of our contenders having a tough go at the beginning. But yeah, he is gone at the front of the field. 31.9 second lead as he crosses the finish line again, launching out onto it, lands it. And what did he go that time? I don't even know. 2:15.7?
Yeah, 2:15.7. I have been looking at the lap times, though. The thing that's crazy is there's 2:17s are the best lap by Tyler Lang and Hubbard in second and third. And last lap they ran 2:27s, both of them, which means they have that 2:17. They either both had a fall off or they both had, a tip over or two, and it wasn't their best lap. But it's crazy that he can make mistakes and still be faster than their best lap. It's just a whole nother level as we see a 2:20 come by from Tyler Lang. Congratulations, you're 5 seconds slower than the lap that we saw Payson Johnson go off the track and make a mistake in. So that's what's just kind of the crazy thing. I think, unless there's something I'm forgetting, I think this might be the single most 10 minutes into the moto, the single biggest difference of like 1 lap speed that we've seen in RF.
Yeah, because like obviously there's been times where Leclerc, I'm sure Johnson faster, even this, like he's been very good, and early in the moto, a lot of crashes happen. Suddenly he's got a 30-second lead early on. That's happened, but Lang's crashed once, and he's 33 seconds behind. This is just a otherworldly type of ride early in this one from Payson Johnson. He is about to start hitting lap traffic fairly soon, which would be kind of interesting to see how he navigates that, because before long, too, he'll get into some pretty gnarly lap traffic with big groups of guys close together. But right now, it is just cruise control out front. Nobody in the same vicinity. 39-second lead now.
Yeah, Lang down to 4th.
Yeah, Lang went back to 4th.
Yeah, the podium. Bryce
crazy.
Whelan, haven't talked about him. I think we got to stop glazing him soon. But, I mean, we'll have enough time all year. But it's crazy. Like, this is so insane what we're watching right now is that I'm like a known Payson hater.
Okay, just out yourself, all right?
No, like I've been not hiding it for the last couple of years on stream. I call it like it is, and same with Turley, who turned me around Supercross season this year. But God, but it's like this is so unbelievable that I cannot help but as a commentator, I can be petty, but I need to like appreciate this because I don't know if this has like ever been done.
Right.
So no matter how much I dislike Payson's antics in the past, this is one of the most impressive things we've ever seen. So we'll continue to glaze him probably.
Has he gone below 2:15 yet?
I don't think so. And that was I think he might have done it twice, unless it was the lap we saw him push off the last corner a little bit and do that. But he also has done those 2:15s without jumping the finish. So that 2:14 jumping the finish probably made a mistake.
Yeah, like this is... I think basically every lap he's put down has been what would be the fastest lap of the race, if he didn't exist. Like, he's just continuing to reset another fast lap of the race over and over and over again. That's 2 or 3 seconds faster than everybody else. It is insane. His fastest lap still 4 seconds faster than anybody else on the track. That time by
That's so sick.
Nobody else in the teens yet. Castellaneta in 12th is the first person to go 2:19. Braden Carter in 14th goes 2:18. Everybody else 2:20 and up, and he went 2:14.3.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
just don't get it.
I would like to, if we could hop back maybe to second, third, fourth are a little bit apart. Maybe back to Seth Shirley in fifth. We have Bryce Whelan, who was up to third, went down. He is behind him now, not as close as I thought he was going to be, but we got this battle of three right here, 5, 6, 7 on the track, but these look to be the closest I could find in the top 10. Spreading apart a little bit. Chase B, though, on the rear wheel of Bryce Whelan, trying to get closer, 1 second off. Is Chase B not on the Cowie anymore?
No.
Chase B, what the?
Chase B is switched to
Dude!
a KTM. Oh my goodness, what a traitor.
Yeah, I mean, Chase B has been Jason Anderson for the last 3 years. Cowie, he went from a Rockstar Husky before that. That was sick. I don't approve of this change. I will be requesting Supercross skins for the rest of Outdoors. But Chase B is a guy that I saw earlier off, got a good start inside the top 10, and he's just an outdoor guy. Supercross, we've seen him struggle to make mains, struggle to, get inside the top 15 when he is in them. Just kind of had some troubles there. And outdoors is really just where he shines. He's always been a better outdoor rider, and I'm not surprised to see him easily inside the top 10 right now and battling. He's going to be someone that's going to be knocking on the door for podiums during the season so far, or for the rest of the year. And I'm really excited to see him back, even though I'm mad that he's not on the Cowie.
One thing that we haven't talked about at all this moto is this man right here, Alexis Leclerc, who just passed Dylan Cavicciuti to go into 8th, the number 1 machine on the whatever cryptocurrency that is this year. I'm not sure what he supports this time. Samo. But he's finally made it up to 8th. He has been slowly moving forward. He's not really lighting the world on fire in terms of lap times, right about what we expected in terms of pace. But he has made very strong progress forward through the field. This time goes 2:19.5, so finally down into the teens like everybody else. Up ahead of him, T. Lang and Jacob Hubbard, both 2:18 that last time by. Still 2:15.7 for Payson out front. 48-second lead at the halfway mark of this one. And Leclerc, just clicking off the laps, trying to make some good passes and move his way forward. Cavicciuti, Castellaneta, Marchini, Pachone, Spies, Ortiz, Gerst. So there's some fights throughout this mid pack right here. Spies, Ortiz, Pachone, all these guys going at it right now for 12th right now on the racetrack. And the battles are just kind of everywhere. They just keep coming and keep going in every direction. And that's the way we like to see it.
Our SMX Come friend's gonna like that one.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, I mean, really cool to see kind of the battles. I kind of mentioned this earlier in the 250 class earlier, is that you've got these guys that are just in these death battles. This squad of 4 could have been together all race, and it's just going to be back and forth, and no one can ever kind of take a breath, relax, and it's just kind of a dogfight all the way to the end. Anthony Piccioni, though, got some pressure on his rear wheel right here. Those are all
For
positions, right? Correct.
Spies,
he separates himself a little bit from Spies and Gerst as he does that triple into that section there. Gerst trying to get around Spies right now, but he's unable to make a move, trying a couple different lines there. Up the inside goes the number 9 of Adam Cianciarillo. Just kidding. Braden Carter, he's retired. Braden Carter, who was not sure how he was going to do, thought he might drop down to 250 class. He's going to get a spot as Spies goes down on that hill. Braden Carter, though, has been really good, dominant in Supercross, but never a really good outdoor rider. So he's racing this round to kind of see where he's going to end up, and he's doing good so far. I mean, where is he at? 14? No, he's not doing good. His good should be like 9th, and that's where I think
match his number.
I think we're gonna see. Maybe we'll get him on some live comms. Maybe we'll get him on some 125, some 252 strokes. That's my goal for the outdoor season. Is I'm going to be his agent, and we're going to work some deals with him.
Okay.
Okay, Lucas Myrtle.
Call me Mertz.
Down the inside, going to move into 13th right there, I believe, on the 57 of Pichon. So Carter continues to work his way forward. Here's Castellaneta going through the top blocks. Marchini, Cavacciuti, and then Leclerc all over Blakely. So Leclerc continues his march forward. He's got Blakely and Bryce Whelan trying to get into the top 5. Up ahead of that is Seth Shirley. So this is a good fight right here. 5, 6, 7, 8, and stacking up Blakely and Leclerc, laying on top of each other in that turn, but Leclerc's going to get 2 spots out of it anyway, because down on the inside right there was Bryce Whelan, and he goes from 6th back to 8th. Leclerc now finds himself in 6th, as here is Seth Shirley in 5th, Frank Jackson 4th, Tyler Lang in 3rd, Hubbard in a comfortable 2nd place, having a really good ride. I mean, you just cannot discount how good of a ride this is for Jacob Hubbard. Doesn't matter how far gone Payson Johnson is. This would be a win if Hubbard was trying to fight guys that are not in a different planet right now. But Payson Johnson is in a different planet. He checks in out front with a modest 220.1, just hanging out with the normies at this point. But
yeah. After going down and running like a 223 or something, it goes down again. It's okay. I mean, the track's getting rough. We are now 20 minutes into the moto. He's only 47 seconds out front, so I think he's got a little bit of breathing room. Oh, we got some brews popping. I could have got you a fresh cold one.
We're good.
You can drink them warm.
Yeah.
These mountains are actually blue, so I'm getting excited. My first cold one of the night, so it was very exciting. Why Bubby wants you to shotgun that actually? So.
No, he's just hydrating us. I ain't gonna
4
shotgun
sips
it up.
is
Dualies. Hubbard
Sweet.
tossing with lap traffic. There we go.
I cannot wait until what's our first round that gets us big dually jump. Oh,
Thunder Valley?
wait, no, Thunder Valley's got a ton of them. Yeah, so round 3,
Yeah.
we'll be here.
Hangtown's got some.
No,
Sorta.
they don't have the freaking sky shot in, or not the sky, the freaking
Fly
fly
360
150,
or-
brother.
I mean, it's still a pretty good jump, though. It's still pretty big.
Oh my god, I'm getting drunk. All right, look at this chat, dude.
Oh my
They want us to
god.
hydrate, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Well, I guess I'm gonna go down. No one's gonna be on mic because we're gonna go downstairs and get another round of beers because this one's gonna be gone.
We'll all head downstairs together, skipping down the stairs.
Hey,
or
you
what?
guys can. We'll
Oh
just throw
my
on
God.
the Payson
Dude,
Johnson
the
helmet
Dude.
cam.
Everybody's hydrating it up. They're using all their points they've
Dude,
just
there's
been
so many
gathering on the
points.
channel all year long.
This is wild.
Wait, save them. In a couple weeks, we're gonna do a real drunk stream though.
Oh, real? Are we really able?
I'm gonna stay the night and we're gonna do a good one. It's
Meanwhile,
gonna get
I'm about
hot.
to get on a plane to High Point or whatever.
Yeah, well, we missed it. I'm starting to get drunk. Saru is drinking with the boys too.
Oh my
He's happy about
dude. How many channel points do people have?
I've got 9.3K, but you're dropping 300 a pop. Those are gonna go away fast. Anyone who's watching this back on YouTube,
You're missing out. For one.
you're missing out. Never better than live, but I'm scrolling so far and it's, oh my god. Save a couple, boys, but thank you all for everyone redeeming those points. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna be wasted, aren't we? Todd and I are gonna struggle tomorrow.
I'm trying to limit myself, dude. I really am.
We'll do I don't think my hydro flask is big enough. I could chug that whole thing.
Gluck, 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 gluck.
In a couple weeks, we'll do some shotguns or something. Thank you for all redeeming points
thank you
and
guys
his
seriously
stretch
for all
critter.
the
Thanks.
support.
Stretch.
Oh man, got to stretch it out. A brew per hydrate, 1 brew per hydrate we'd be dead.
We're dead.
Give me about
BED dead.
2 weeks, maybe a month. That was a lot. Give me a month, 10 beers a night. Still might not.
There
get
were
there.
some sus sounds, that's for sure. Gluck, gluck, gluck. All right, back to Jacob Hubbard in 2nd place. There's T. Lang in 3rd. And Frank Jackson in 4th. No changes there. But here's the one. up in the top 5 now. First time we've seen Alexis Leclerc in P5 or higher all moto long. 23 minutes to get there. Not the start of the season Leclerc was hoping for just yet, but he could end up on the box or even second place before this one is done. So, we'll see.
That's crazy. Sorry, I got distracted. What do we got going on now?
I mean, Hubbard's keeping it kind of honest, I guess, huh? Like, I mean, yeah, he's still 45 or 40. Well, now I just watched the timer jump from 43 to 46, so.
Keeping it close.
And last lap time is like, oh, he crashed because he sent something too hard, and runs a 226 when Hubbard's coming in clocking like 222s now. The track is breaking down right now. There's only 2 people on the track that ran under a 220, and they're a 219.5 and a 219.9. So Payson Johnson's probably going to come around with a 216 or something if he doesn't fall. Just a modest lap time as with this track is broken down 25 minutes into this moto so far. You guys cannot understand how rough these tracks get, how big these ruts get, the braking bumps. Hopefully, do they still upload these on the forum or on Discord or something?
The like the track after it broke down.
Yeah, they go ahead and look out there if you're just someone who watches the stream and you play casually. Look out, see if there's an after Moto 2 track file. Sometimes they'll save it so that you guys can go ahead and ride exactly what these guys are racing on. And trust me, you can barely get around the track.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, folks, if you check your program books, they might not only be 1 and 2 in the book, they might be 1 and 2 in your heart right now. Leclerc and Seth Shirley going at it for 4th place. They just got around Frank Jackson.
Oh, yeah?
And this was a battle we maybe anticipated seeing one to be one for the race lead at some point this year. Right now it's for 4th, and they might work their way forward to get up to T-Lane before this is done. But cool to see Seth Shirley mixing it up with Leclerc. This is a clear old generation versus new generation battle that we maybe didn't expect to see, with Seth Shirley still pretty young and new in the game to a degree, and Leclerc about as old as it gets anymore with the fast guys out there on the track.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is exactly what you said. This is like changing of the guard besides Payson Johnson. If you look and you're like, okay, red plate holder, last year's champion with the number 1, Payson Johnson, the up-and-coming guy. This is like Jet Lawrence coming into outdoors of last year. Can he do it? And look at this, the way he's riding.
Tapped his head on the sponge.
Yeah, hit the SpongeBob and dies. But Seth Shirley, man, this is like kind of changing of the guard. So if you didn't have this psychopath Payson Johnson up front, Seth Shirley would have just passed last year's points leader into 3rd, and he would be 10 seconds off the lead of Jacob Hubbard, known really good rider, really great starter, and Tyler Lang, past champion. So Seth Shirley, this would be a great debut. It's just the fact that we have a psychopath that's 54 seconds out front in first. Ooh. And just dropped a 217 while no one else was under a 220.
Dude. Oh my gosh, what is Payson made of? This is ridiculous. Look at where he is on the racetrack too compared to these guys. They're all going up the hills. He's about to the finish line jump right now, and he has lapped up to 25th, looks like right now. Still jumping all the way to the finish line. 2:18.9, 56.1 second lead, almost out to a minute gap.
Look at these ruts in first person, dude. Oh,
yard sale.
We saw him go down, I think, on that same exact
corner,
line.
Yeah.
Trying to just kind of make the track work, but look how big that is.
He's staying consistent.
Yeah, can we go first person for a second? And I want to show these people how broken down
Anything
these ruts
for you,
are.
baby.
Thank you. This flat section down here on the track doesn't get super rough, but you can just kind of see a little bit steeper, a little bit deeper ruts, and then maybe a braking bump or two coming into it a little bit bigger. There's an extra couple bumps in there in the entrance to that rut, but there's going to start to be some huge lines. Payson Johnson going outside there, avoiding some of these really crazy, really choppy deep ruts, and gets tossed sideways, saves that. Did not want to whip it there. Just look at how broken down this track is going to become as we get to the corners with a little bit more ruts. Switching it up to an inside line that's almost never been used today, just because it's got no road on it.
It's crazy how big his lead is. Crashes again. He had a crash, and his lead actually got bigger, but it's because they took so long to get to where he crashed for it to reset. So he went from being 58 seconds in the lead to 60 seconds in the lead. Then he just crashed again, and it's going to be 53, 54, 55. Then it'll go back down to like 47 once those guys get to where he crashed again. So, yeah, he's doing some stupid stuff out there on the track. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just these guys are built different. Flick back to second and see what we saw about, a minute and a half ago. On the same part of the track is just kind of crazy. Tyler Lang, though, great ride, quiet ride. These guys are going to get a little bit overshadowed by the... I don't think this will continue to happen, getting overshadowed with a really good second-place ride. Just a little bit of shock coming from Payson Johnson's domination so far. But Tyler Lang almost goes over the bars, and he is able to hold on to that. Just a little kicker as the track gets rougher. Look at this corner. Off camber, deep ruts, up and down, then up this big hill. Oh my gosh, these guys. Crazy.
We're watching T-Lang here. He is not riding bad, right? No. He's cooking. Now we say that in a yard sales. The curse is ridiculous here tonight, but he was riding very well, and he still was 40-something seconds behind. We got a battle for second, though. T-Lang picks it up with Shirley right next to him. They're going to be almost bar-to-bar going up this hill. Not able to make something happen just yet, but then don't look too far behind that. Another 4 seconds back as Leclerc, and T-Lang just laid it down. Did he not? Yes, he did. He's down. So Leclerc around the outside is going to pull up alongside of the 2021 champ, cut the line off, and make the pass. So that was really nip and tuck right there between Leclerc and Lang. But Leclerc gets the pass done. He is now up to third. That is a really good recovery from the defending champ. Right now, as much as Payson Johnson's dominating this moto, he's only gaining 3 points on Seth Shirley and then 5 on Leclerc. It's not like he's gaining 30 because he's way out in front. Still just the same amount of points.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that I'm kind of worried about is even if he has a round where he's imploding, probably not going to happen today no matter what happens with this start. I could be wrong. But the thing you're going to have to look out for is if he starts imploding himself and he falls every single time, is his worst finish going to be a second or third because he's just that much faster everywhere else on the track? Or does he find a track that's really his kryptonite? Could even be this one in second moto if he just came out feeling hot, feeling himself. But yeah, it's going to be interesting for me.
Oh, Leclerc thought about an inside move and gets around him anyway. So
too much pressure on Lang.
Leclerc now up to second. Shirley goes back to the drawing board once again in this fight for second place. And yes, those in chat that are asking me, what am I talking about? I was speaking of Lang when I mentioned the 2021 champ. I know Leclerc's a 2023 champ, and so they are both fighting each other in this battle. Shirley now settles back in right in front of Lang. This is a really good fight. Could you imagine if this was for the lead? But Payson Johnson's making that a bit of a moot point right now.
Yeah, we've got, your top 4 or 5 are within 7 seconds. 5 guys within 7 seconds, 32 minutes into a moto at your season opener would be a crazy thing, but almost just like the 250 class, we saw 2nd through 5th within 5 seconds. It's just kind of ruined by domination by your race leader, but still able to watch it, and awesome to see Seth Shirley out here performing great, getting on the box behind 2 past champions here in Payson Johnson and Alexis Leclerc in his 450 outdoor debut. And he's still got some time to kind of make a pass here as your leader's on the last lap, but these guys still have fully 1.5 laps to go as they get around the down rider there.
Yeah, I think Seth Shirley wants a piece of Leclerc here for second. I don't think it's over just yet.
I think he's gonna go, and I think the fear of having a fall off and losing maybe 3 or 4 spots is really not that big being early in the year. Who cares if you finish 7th? You're not going to remember that at the end of the season now. So I think he's just going to send it, go for that 2nd place, get that confidence in your first race. As I thought Leclerc went down right there.
No, still up just ahead of him there down the backside.
Black gear kind of went camo on me a little bit. I'm going to be sending it this whole last lap if I'm Seth Shirley and trying to just kind of put a feather in my cap and say I'm the next best guy here.
Yeah, he is pushing to make this pass on Leclerc. As Payson Johnson circulates on the final lap, 44 seconds in the lead. He has absolutely dominated this moto, made it look really easy out front. But these guys have worked hard the entire race. Shirley, he was mixing it up inside the top 5, then fell outside the top 5, got back into it late in this one, is now trying to get into second. Whereas Leclerc, the first we saw him, he was outside of the points and has made it all the way to P2. So this is a good recovery for Leclerc in this first moto of the season to still end up with some pretty solid points. And hey, you never know. Payson looked really good in this one, but the second moto could be completely different.
Yeah, something. Ooh. Is that Leclerc?
Oh, Leclerc went down?
Leclerc
yeah.
went down. It was just like a weird fall. It looked like something a lapper would do. Alexis Leclerc kind of pushed his rear wheel.
Wait a minute. That was Braden Carter that went by him. I thought, I was shook for a second. I'm like, wait, there's no way
That
Braden's
green gear,
passing,
yeah.
but look at him go. Braden Carter, the Supercross champion, has moved all the way to third.
How did he do that? I mean, just being back so far so early. He was in 14th when I talked about him almost halfway through the race and was like, yeah, this is not a good ride for him. He needs to be, his bad race should be a 6th or 7th, you know? And Braden Carter, maybe just feeling the flow. Maybe when the track breaks down, he's actually able to ride it. Holds him in a little bit better, you know? Can kind of flow like he's banging off Supercross routes or something instead of kind of coming in the corners and having his front end wash. But he's doing great right now. Payson Johnson, though.
Yeah, here it is.
Around.
All the way to the checkered flag.
Running.
One of the most dominating moto victories we've ever seen. And Payson Johnson takes 450 Moto 1. And Carter, just as he moved a second, lays it down. He lays it over and is going to pick it up in this weird fight behind these guys. Frank Jackson went by. Shirley went by. Leclerc is just ahead of them. My daughter has joined. What has she got to say?
Come to my preschool tomorrow and stay there.
And stay there? Oh, okay,
Come to
cool.
your
They're all going to
preschool?
come to your preschool tomorrow and stay there. Right on. There's a pizza party at the
pizza party, sign me
preschool,
up.
so everyone's
all
coming
in.
now for sure. But back to this battle, and Leclerc is trying to hold off Seth Shirley. One turn left to go. Through the final turn, Shirley's giving it one last-ditch effort. They're both going to launch to the flag, and Leclerc just holds off Shirley for second place, 0.4 of a second. Jackson fourth, a sneaky fourth, and Carter's going to be well annoyed that he didn't hold on for this spot. But he is going to finish inside the top 5, which, honestly, for Carter, this should be a dub. He started 32nd place the first time we saw him on timing and scoring. He ends up 5th, almost got 2nd this moto, as Hubbard gets 6th, Lang 7th, Whelan 8th, Blakely 9th, and T. Burns looks like he's going to round out the top 10. Maybe Marchini going to give him a little bit of a run. But how about Braden Carter, Supercross champ? Looks like he came to play outdoors this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was pretty surprised by that performance there. I just wasn't expecting it, and it's kind of, I feel like we were a little bit starstruck by what Payson Johnson was doing at the front of the field there. Kind of just, I mean, put a wrench in all of our plans, I feel like. As far as commentating this moto, it was like 20 minutes of what can he do? Oh my gosh, he's going faster. And then kind of settling in. That's going to be something to watch, though, because when I first saw him back there, 14th was the first time I saw him. But I really just wasn't expecting him to be able to get up that far at all. So, great ride by him. I mean, look at who you got inside your top 5. Frank Jackson with a surprising finish. Honestly, after seeing Tyler Lang, Jacob Hubbard, Bryce Whelan all inside the top 3 at a point in time. Chase B coming up in the 9th place. You got race winners and champions littered throughout that top 10. And then you've got people like Frank Jackson throwing themselves up in the 4th. So, great ride by him.
We have a challenge laid down in chat. Critter has sent us 500 bits our way. Said we need a TG photo shotgun between motos. Tej is shaking his head. He's not super into it right now, but we may be able to coax him. We'll see what's going on right there.
I don't, dude. It's been a long time since I shotgunned a beer. I'm gonna be honest.
Been a long time since he's shotgunned, but it's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time, is what we always say out here. So we'll see what happens, whether that happens or not. Top 5 stayed the same after cut. So Carter, Jackson, Shirley, Leclerc, Johnson, your top 5 confirmed from 450 Moto 1 here at Fox Raceway. What a damn race that we just saw in this 450 class, and now we get to roll it right into Moto 2 of the 250s.
They don't take a break anymore, huh?
No, but we can come back into our full studio here. We'll hang out in the studio with everybody. Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, Todd Gutierrez over there. Halfway point of the action here tonight. Todd over there is ready to go to sleep. It's been a long night already. No, he's good.
We're chilling, dude.
We're
I'm
chilling.
good. I'm good.
But yeah,
Last night a little sleepy. Tonight we're ready to go.
we're 2 motos into nationals so far. What do you guys think? Pretty good stuff so far.
2 dominant rides.
2 dominant rides, but I mean, people like dominance, aka Jordan,
True, Jet Lawrence. Like,
Jet Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to watch. Like, it definitely, like, especially with pacing with the crazy lines, like, that's insane to watch. So, like, it's just entertainment. But I mean, Lights will put on a crazy first moto as well. And
Chase B.
what's
Chase
up?
B?
No, sorry.
So yeah, man. Like, I'm hoping that we get some closer racing for the lead in the second motos, but you know,
Yeah.
see how it goes.
I got a question for you guys that has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Came up on our LVK show. Check it out, the EVS Sports LVK More Than Moto podcast on the Pulp MX network. Jet Lawrence is currently in a 22 consecutive moto win streak. It's an active streak. It's the 4th longest streak all time. How long does it last?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
What? Just kidding. No confidence.
I
No
was
confidence.
expecting a how long does it last to come. So
I mean,
Oh.
honestly,
I was
let's
thinking-
think about it. Let's think about it. Like,
longer than I last.
Chase is the only guy that has a chance, and Chase is on a new bike for outdoors.
Dude, did you see the odds for winning, like the race betting odds, which I don't think are like that good, but Dylan Ferrandis is like plus 250 along with Chase Sexton. I'm like,
Throw a couple bucks at it.
no,
But plus
I don't think
250.
he's
I
gonna
mean,
be
that's
anywhere.
only if you do a couple bucks, you win what, $6?
But then
if they
yeah,
win?
it's you're getting 2.5 times your money. But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is Ferrandis being the second guy is not. I want to see You don't have Tomac. You don't have Kenny. You don't have Webb.
Yep.
I think it lasts another 5 rounds, 10 motos.
Okay, so here's the
Minimum?
thing. The all-time record is Ricky Carmichael, 31 consecutive motos from
So
the
that's 4.5 races.
second to last moto of 2003 to the 4th moto of 2005. He won 31 consecutive motos.
So that's 4.5 more total races.
Rounds. I
Yeah,
think he can
rounds.
easily do it. I just said
Yeah.
5. I'm like, to me, it seems like unless it was the same thing as 5 rounds in last year, where it's like, oh, is it real? Like, yeah, at that point, obviously it's real. It's got to be a mechanical, or it's got to be an injury, or, you know, such a bad start or a crash or something that it's like, I will kill myself trying to gain these points and not kind of get there.
It would have to be a horrible
It's-
start with Chase getting the whole shot.
And he might be out of the season.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way. And I think it's just going to keep going, like, at least half the season. I feel like there's a chance with all the injuries for him to go perfect or almost perfect again.
So you think that he breaks the all-time consecutive moto wins record?
Yeah.
Okay, Todd?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
I don't
someone
think so.
give me a sub.
Yeah, I think early in the season, he's going to have like some shitty tip over in the first turn, and Chase is just going to be gone, and he won't catch him.
Well, that's how I said too. I think that if it did happen, that's how it's going to have to
Yeah.
happen. Like, Chase is going to have to get a great start and just be out front, like, immediately. And something weird's going to happen to Jet. That's the only way I can see it happening.
Yeah. Shout out to an anonymous gifter, which
Let's
appears to be
go.
Diet Dabs. He accidentally hit anonymous, but gifted 5 community subs out. So welcome to the club.
And one for me.
Who we got up in here? We got Mustard Tiger 914 Projectier. We got We Came as Omens, Swagger Shoes 24, and Against Empire. Welcome to the crew. Appreciate you guys. And then Diet Dabs also dabbed up A-Wood 729. I wonder who the hell that guy is. I don't know
Toxic.
even that is right there.
That's me.
But,
it's Chase Donovan.
Chase Donovan.
No, Diet Dabs.
Yeah, I know
Dabs
Diet
is-
Dabs is Chase Donovan. So
Let's go.
yeah, thanks, Chase. Appreciate it, man. The support is unreal tonight. You guys
Brand
have been
erosion.
awesome.
That was nothing.
So I think I have a harder question.
All right, hit me.
250s. Who's your favorite?
VL.
Really?
Yeah. He just won a Supercross title. He's a 2-time world motocross champion. You think in his second year racing here in the USA, after winning a Supercross title, he can't beat those guys as well?
It's a good point. I think Kitchen will do it. I think Kitchen's the man. I think he's the guy for it. I think that it's going to be him and Vial. I will say that they're the two main. But I don't know. I think I'm on Kitchen's side.
All
What about
right.
you, Awood?
I think the thing that bums me out is all the injuries right at the end of Supercross. that kind of ruin it. But
Yeah.
I think Vial's, it's a good one. I mean, who do you got?
I did Kitchen. He did
Kitchen.
Vial.
Yeah, I think, and I don't really know about the star guys. I don't know how much I trust like Deegan, but yeah, I see Deegan all caps in chat right there. It's I don't know. I think it'll be Vial, Deegan, Kitchen, RJ. RJ's fine. RJ's gonna win.
RJ's
Well,
fine.
There's so many guys to pick from.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm trying to think of combined coast, but who also got hurt at the end of the Supercross season.
All right, hold that thought, folks. Here we go. It's time for 250 Moto 2 launching into turn number 1. Who's going to get the all-important design lap co-hole? Yeah, and it's a Cowie trying to poke through the nose on the middle there, and it's going to be the Yamaha of Braden Tharp, who actually gets it on his Panini Motorsports Fantic, I think it actually is, but it was J.R. Reyes who poked the nose out there and will take the early race lead. You got Tharp, you got Alec Horn with a good start, Evan Holt, another good one. Luke Sullivan's at the sharp end of the field this time. Lucas Brune and Austin Partolo. Cade Matherly coming together there with Rasmus Balzer. Almost went down, and Leitzel looks like he's in about 8th alongside Matherly right off the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, great starts by both of them, but man, Leitzel got a little bit of room to work.
Oh, Matherly down.
Matherly down hard. I like that grouping that we had right there, so close together, at least near each other, see what they can do. Leitzel down hard, and this is going to cause some hard work for him to do right now. Look at all those riders going down. Whoa, why is there a giant gap? Giant gap between about 20th and 21st, it looked like.
So he's going to get up right there with Matherly, who chopped off his nose and made a nice little pass up the inside of Sonny Spicer. Be fun to see how they work through the field together. And suddenly that dominating moto win that we saw out of Leitzel has been completely wiped away. Braden Tharp has taken the race lead here at Fox Raceway on the 23 ride. And I'm going to have to try to figure out some overalls here and remember what exactly happened in those first motos. Alec Horn with a good start, J.R. Reyes. Evan Holt was 5th, I believe, in the first moto, so he factors in. Sullivan with a good run as well, so we'll have to see how he fares. Dualies, Trileys, even quadsies sometimes. So many people throwing it off of that big tabletop in the middle right there. And Balzer almost went down, Swap City into the corner. Look at how many dudes there are right here.
Yeah,
We're
there's
cramming them in like 5 deep right now.
10 guys in that one corner because of how wide that one is. Now this funnels down to really only 2 usable lines. Everyone's got to go outside. Everyone's scrubbing before the finish, coming around the first lap. Started lap 2 right now, and Balzer, man, after a great start in the first moto and then going down and dropping back, he's looking to kind of redeem himself, goes ahead and gets a position there, but he's going to get moved on up the inside. Not able to make it happen is the number 43 of Lucas Brune. He's followed by Luke Sullivan, though. Luke Sullivan's going to be wanting to make his way up through the pack as well.
So these guys early on trying to jockey for those positions and figure it out as Braden Tharp continues to lead this race. And take a quick peek. Logan Leitzel now 19th, Seth Carr 15th. So these guys are still trying to figure it out from bad starts. And we kind of have a flip-flop of the fields right now based on what we saw in the first moto. It is completely reversed for the most part and sets us up for a very interesting dynamic on who exactly is going to win these overalls. I think it's going to probably come from either Leitzel or Carr charging through the field, but you never know. Sullivan might get up here and take off with a race win.
Yeah, Sullivan, I mean, getting out front early after such a strong showing. Braden Tharp, though, great in Supercross, but didn't really have the best ride in the first moto tonight here. He's looking good, but, man, a little update on Logan Leitzel. We saw him drop back down to 27th. I think he was then up. He's moved up to 24th position now, 23rd now, but he is 21 seconds off the lead, and that's a lot of ground to make up when you have to move through the pack. And I kind of commented and complimented his early speed and consistency on the track. He looked very smooth, but you can't really ride that way when you're in the pack. You can't ride your own line every single time. You have to avoid riders, choose optional lines, and I think he might have a little bit of a problem getting up through the pack, but could be a whole different story in 20 minutes. He could be, inside the podium spot, but really going to be interesting to see what he can do if he can work his way through the field early, quick.
A reminder to you guys just tuning in what happened in the first moto. It was Logan Leitzel who took the win from Seth Carr in second, Cade Matherly third, Luke Sullivan fourth, and Evan Holt in fifth. Your Moto 2 leader right now, Braden Tharp, was 10th in the first moto. So these overall scores are going to be all over the place. For example, Rasmus Balzer, who was 7th in the first moto, now runs second. He pretty much is in a position where he could win the overall, although he is actually tied on points for the day with Tharp. Lucas Brune, he was not up there at the sharp end of the field either. He doesn't factor in. But then you talk about Luke Sullivan, who is 4th in the first moto, 4th again right now. My goodness, it's going to be really hard math to figure this out if these guys stay in these positions, but we certainly expect Matherly, who just moved into 10th now, for example, to continue charging forward, maybe even better charges out of Leitzel, and we'll see what Seth Carr is able to do as he tries to charge up from the 19th position. As we go back to J.R. Reyes right now in the 5 spot, he's got Jeremy Schiabro, Maverick Snyder, Emmanuel Cepeda, all right behind him, and these guys, look at this little freight train right here, 5 dudes gaggled up in a corner, and oh my goodness, side by side off of that big tabletop in the middle right there, down the inside on the Triumph ride right there is Joey Bradstreet, and he is going to make that pass stick. Man, this 250 class has been flipped upside down though, Todd. I don't even know what's about to happen for these overalls.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. I'm trying to do quick maths in my head. Is it Luke Sullivan? Is he?
Maybe 4-4, I guess you could say. He's going to get 36 points with that 4-4. Trying to think 10th place would garner 11 points and a 25 for Braden Tharp there, so 36 as well. But then he would tie, so he would take the overall based on the better second moto. It is very confusing. I need one of these guys further back to just charge forward and make my math easier.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 2 laps in, so don't get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, right now it's looking like it's anybody's game, honestly.
For example, Cade Matherly, who was 3rd in the first moto, is now charged all the way to 8th from that early crash. He's been on the move, and this is the second time in 2 motos already that we've seen Matherly have to do this. He just goes to 7th as down goes J.R. Reyes on his CBR Kawasaki. So now he's made a move into P7, looking at 3-7 scores right now. This is going to be very, very fun math to figure out throughout the duration of this race. But the early running order is Tharp, Balzer, Brune, Sullivan, Cepeda, and now Matherly moving into 6th as he goes around Jeremy Schiabro.
Yeah, Braden Tharp and Rasmus Balzer actually have just run back-to-back best lap times. Same exact lap time, by the way.
They did. You're right. Absolutely about that. As through goes Sullivan on the 43 there of Lucas Brune, and Brune runs into his rear tire and goes down. Sully now on 4-3 scores. That would potentially give him the overall win if it stays as is. But you're right. 2:17.929, Julian Beaumer, as he makes it a dead tie between Braden Tharp and Rasmus Balzer for fastest time. If you look at their pit board, it just says 2:17.9, 2:17.9. We wouldn't know the difference if we didn't have this lap timing scoring. We'd think, oh yeah, they just ran similar lap times. No, identical lap times for our leaders last time by. That's quite a rare occurrence. We don't get to see that too often, and kind of cool to see how it's shaken down between these two. Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Got a nice little refill for us.
It's hot. It's so hot in here.
I opened the window.
I know.
It feels good.
Cooled down earlier.
We got a little
now.
breeze now. We're good.
Compared to downstairs, pits are still sweating, and it's like 68 in Cali, so can't wait till it's 105.
You didn't double pits to Chesty?
Well, we'll have the AC on when it's 105, which is trying to save money.
No, I know. We're good. Well, we got extra PCs on too right now. Extra men in here. So.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
It is Todd's fault. I blame Todd.
Hopefully, we have a 3-man booth for a couple rounds this season. That'd be fun.
if Kellen, decides to just fly me out every now and then, I'd do it.
We'll see if that's in the budget for us.
Yeah.
This year. We'll go ahead and
Might need to
calculate
get
that
a couple more
We'll get there when it's
sponsors.
time.
I have to run the numbers again, maybe crunch it on the calculator a little bit, but we'll see. Certainly would like to have, even if Todd comes back or if we have a few other people step into the booth this year. Really fun earlier in Supercross when we got to have Doc Smith join us for several rounds. Max Voland was in studio for a round. I think he might come back for a round, it sounds like, maybe.
Yeah, it sounded
so
like
we'll get
a
him in
potential.
studio.
Got a couple fun ones, ideas that we've got going on.
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
heads,
We're trying to make a few things happen. So,
some,
but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe throw a B-Lars or we got some SoCal guys we can get in here. Moto a Go-Go lives in like
Tennessee?
not here. Yeah.
East Tennessee.
Coming hot. Balls are, man, impressive right now. After his first moto woes that he had, falling back and kind of not really able to recover too much. Only 4 seconds off the lead here in Moto 2. Where is our boy?
Cade Matherly just set the fastest lap of the race, by the way, 2:17.6. He's all the way up to fourth.
Straight up having a bad time.
Matherly with a 3-4 right now, certainly in position to win the overall, especially because Logan Leitzel is having a horrible moto. 25th place for the Moto 1 winner, the dominant Moto 1 winner at that, too. It wasn't even that it was close. And look at how many riders he's still behind here. There he is on the 3.
I mean, just to show you how bad of a time he's had, look at his best lap time.
Yeah.
2:30.
2:28 is his best.
Oh yeah, 2:28. I mean, yeah, that's almost a full fall off a lap. He's only completed 4 laps, so I mean, it's completely possible that he's had fall off every lap, gotten into something with someone, maybe a slide out or two. But you look at this right here in that shot, you just saw about 10 riders. If he rides first person, this is what he's seeing right in front of him. You got riders going down every time you have to avoid something like that. I'd really like to see Logan not take exactly the fastest line on the track, but just start taking a different line. You see the first 5 guys right in front of him take that same rut that he took right there. One of those guys goes down, and it's going to be, really hard for him to avoid that. So he could also be a little bit stressed, a little bit anxious, wanting to get up there faster. But man, he's got a lot of work to do to just get up into points right now.
If anybody can do it, I feel like it's the 2022 250 national champion Logan Leitzel. And honestly, this is kind of a cool perspective to seeing
all those guys.
Yeah, look at this.
People.
Look at that, 2 or 3 spots right there by going
tight right there with the 86 of Vanderkoy, I believe. And then just got passed around the outside. Someone was slicing and dicing these guys up.
Yeah, got 1 spot only. Looked like 2 guys went down, then gets passed. Someone went through that carnage up the inside of him. But, I mean, yeah, just got to avoid these guys. They're racing at a different pace than he has available. You saw the lap times and the pace that he was running in the first moto. He's got it in there, but, if these guys are cutting over on you like that and jockeying for position, you just really got to avoid that and be smart with the way you're working through the field.
Jaden Gomez really making him work for it here on the 196, looking like young Hunter Lawrence out here as he goes through the inside line right there to make a pass on
smart.
J.R. Reyes. Leitzel also gets that move. Now he's trying to knock on the door for a points-paying position in 20th. He's going to cross over, make that pass stick, and go to P20. Next up, alongside one of the Yogi riders, his teammate Jeff Cooper. They're side-by-side over the finish, and he's trying to go into P19. Swoops through the outside line right here, and we'll get that pass done.
Yeah, I mean, just great riding right here. This first-person view shows you exactly what he's got to go through, and just the way that he's able to kind of work through the field. Was unable to do that the first few laps, though, so hopefully you can put together more laps like that, gain like 6 positions on that lap. So really smart. Finally dropped that lap time down to a 2:22. Leaders are running 2:19s with the best lap of 2:17, so a little bit off of that pace, but man, you keep running consistent, stay up, and avoid this carnage. I think he can knock off 3, 4, 5 guys a lap if he keeps going.
Well, I mean, look at this freight train of riders in front of him. It's like not dissipated whatsoever. It still seems like the same amount of riders are right in front of him, and they just keep stacking up as he's going to switch to the inside right here, make a last-minute move, and maybe get 2 spots out of it, up to 16th with a nice move down the inside to make that pass. Oh, it's swapping into the corner, but a nice little corral together. He's right behind the 36 of Austin Schaefer right there. That's who you can see just in front of him. Then Austin Parlow, Jack Mark going at it. Leitzel thought about making a move, does go around into 15th actually there. Now he's going to try to move to the right side up this hill on Schaefer, get to the inside in the next corner, and I think he's going to make that pass as well. Look at him move all the way to 14th. Great perspective of what these guys are going through, like you said, Andrew.
Ooh, rider down, cartwheeling, avoids that one, goes in, gets 1 more spot. I feel like since we went on board with him, we've started to see a different Logan Leitzel. Looked like he finally kind of locked in. He said those were 4 laps that I wasn't really proud of after a bad start, and I'm going to kind of lock in and start kind of doing what I know I can do. Makes another pass up the inside right there. Should be able to hold on to that as he cuts down to the inside. and now he's got a lot more clear air. I think he's going to start knocking off some lap times that he's proud of. Got one more spot. Gets a little kicker there, almost over the bars there. But Logan Leitzel, man, once he gets past this position, I think he's going to really unlock his full potential here and start kind of knocking off lap times.
This lap time alone should be pretty solid. He's made several passes and done a pretty good job of not losing time in making those passes either, as he comes down to the finish line jump and is going to lay in another 221.1 this time by, and around the outside, going to make that pass stick. Looks like Schiabro maybe just gave it to him right there, said, you know what, you're going faster than me. I'm not going to try to hold you up anymore. Go ahead and take 11th.
Yeah, he had Schiabro actually quit, ended up basically 40th or close to it in the first moto, so had a really bad time. So good to see him kind of up towards the top 10, letting the guy who dominated the first moto kind of by a little bit. But, I mean, he's still got a lot of work to do. He's only in 11th place. Needs to pass Cole Betts, Maverick Snyder, Emmanuel Cepeda, Evan Holt, Lucas Brune, Seth Carr, Sullivan. So the names start to get bigger as you kind of move up. And he's still 45 seconds out of the lead. So
yeah,
it's a lot of ground for him to make up. But if he gets inside the top, close to the top 5, I think it's still a good round for him.
Well, I mean, he still has a shot at the overall as well, because Tharp, for example, he's on a 10-1 right now. So even if you're Logan Leitzel, if you get into 10th place, you're matching Tharp's scores, and you could obviously go higher than that. Tharp can't do any better than win this moto. Balzer in second. For example, he's on a 7-2, so he's done pretty well. He's now in a position where he could challenge for the overall win. We believe the overall winner right now would be this man right here, Cade Matherly, on a 3-3 performance, 40 points on the day. But even if you're Leitzel, get up to 5th, maybe 6th. If Matherly's still in 3rd place or even drops a position, you still have a shot at maybe even winning the overall, even if you can't get that high up in the running order.
Yeah, I think Cade Matherly is doing exactly what he kind of set out here to do today. You don't really come into round 1 trying to maybe either win a moto or just kind of dominate. But if you're him, you're just saying, okay, maybe let's try to get a podium. Let's try to get 2 top 5s. Let's try to do something like that. And it could end up getting you the overall if everyone else is a little bit inconsistent. But I think if you're Matherly, Luke Sullivan, just kind of looking through kind of the top 5, 6, 7 guys, you're feeling good that you're in a consistent spot so far halfway through the second moto. And I think it's exactly kind of where you want to be to start out the season. You didn't have one good race, one bad race. You didn't have 2 bad races. You're just right where you need to be to kind of put yourself in championship contention.
Matherly continues to work in P3 right now. He's 16 seconds off the lead, about 8 seconds behind Rasmus Balzer, who is still in P2 up ahead of him. Then this is Luke Sullivan now in 4th. Sully was 4th in the first moto, so 4-4 performance today, which oddly enough might not land him on the box because of how up and down these scores are. He might go 4-4 and could even end up 5th depending on how things shake down. I believe right now Balzer 7-2 beats that. Tharp's 10-1 might even beat that as well. And obviously Matherly's 3-3 does as well. Leitzel is up to 9th, actually. So now change of positions again. He's all the way up into P9. And Todd, looks like you're picking up on that over there as well.
Yeah, no, he's making moves, man. I mean, like, from that whole lap we followed him, that's like something clicked. Like, we watched him go from, I think, 22nd to, like, 11th and almost a lap. So, yeah, like, he's finding the groove. I think he's starting to see some open air too, which helps a lot. Nobody's really in front of him. He's just, all right, I can just focus on myself, hit my lines, and just work my way forward.
Yeah, he's caught another group of riders as well. There's 3 riders basically right in front of him. He's got Emmanuel Cepeda and Lucas Brune, and then another 2 seconds up the road is Evan Holt as he gets into the side. What a save as he gets into Cepeda, who was coming back on the track, and he saved it. Barely lost any time as well. Maybe a second or 2 to Lucas Brune up ahead of that, but immediately goes right back to battling Cepeda for this position. And that was really good of Leitzel, because if he crashes right there, he's going to slip all the way back to that group that he finally distanced from, Snyder, Schiabro, Betts, and Schaefer, which are pretty much nose to tail.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about saying as you move up in the standings, you also move up and you get around faster riders who are a little bit more consistent. So the risk of someone kind of cartwheeling off track and across your line that we saw someone do before, or fly off the track, hit a hay bale, get sketchy, and you end up running into them, is a little bit lower, but not 0 as we just saw there. So you can follow maybe a little bit closer. You can kind of not worry really about what everyone else is doing and more focus on what you're doing to try to get past them. And we saw that not happen right there, but now we see him focusing on hitting his line, and look at the corner speed he brings right there, jumping around the outside, getting into that rut right there. Blows this one, but I think he's still going to hold on to the position, and Logan Leitzel is looking a lot more like the guy we saw dominate the first moto right now than we did 2.5 laps ago.
So he is now up into 8th place. Lucas Brun and Evan Holt still certainly within striking distance of him. That would put him all the way to 6th. If he gets to 6th, he lands on 40 points for the day. Now, if you go up to Cade Matherly, who has just passed into 2nd place, his 3-2 scores put him on 42 points on the day. Sullivan's 4-3 scores put him on 38 points for the day. So Leitzel already looking at a position where he could slot into maybe even 2nd overall by the time this thing is said and done. We'll keep an eye on what Balzer's able to accomplish with his 7-3, maybe go a little bit higher than that. We have barely talked about the man leading this moto. As down goes Cade Matherly out of 2nd. I saw that swap happening, switch back to him, and he goes down. He is going to lose a spot to Balzer and potentially Sullivan as well, and he gets on with Sully, and he gets taken down. He got into the side there of Seth Carr, who was going by, so suddenly the overalls have really changed, because that would put Sully, I think, in a position to win the overall with a 4-3. As Balzer goes back to a 7-2, here comes Seth Carr trying to show a nose there to Sully, and I think this is even maybe the fight for the overall win. Carr on a 2-4, so actually he would have it on Sully over a 4-3. Gosh, this is so up and down as we're 20 minutes into this, and now Balzer goes down out of 2nd. So this is suddenly the fight for 2nd place, and Carr wants a piece of it. He might have it up alongside and gets the pass done to move into 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely unreal battle right here between these two. And these guys just both showing what they got. Look like teammates. We saw these two battle earlier between the Panini and the TSCZ ride of Sullivan. I mean, just look at these guys. They seem pretty evenly matched. And sometimes you see this at round 1 and you kind of see people that are just on the same level. And you end up seeing them kind of battle all year. So this will be kind of fun to see something. 2 motos of the 22. We've seen them battling together here, so it'll be interesting to see if these two kind of keep finding each other out there.
I think they're just going to keep finding each other the rest of this moto. Their lap times have been pretty similar. Sully's kind of fallen off a little bit of late, but I think that's some slight mistakes. And now Seth Carr has made his way all the way to 2nd. Now, suddenly he's interjected with a 2-2 performance to potentially win this overall. Matherly now on 3-5, Sullivan on 4-3, so Sully back ahead of Matherly overall. And Leitzel, who had made it up to 8th, crashed again. He's now 9th and about like 6 seconds behind Cepeda or so. Looks pretty unlikely he would get all the way to Holtze. Well, maybe 10 seconds up the road with 8 minutes and a lap left to go in this race. Sully doesn't look like he's quite done with Seth Carr yet, but track has different ideas, and he has to take a little bit of a breather right there, settle back into 3rd place.
Yeah, for sure. These guys, I love that these two are just keeping it so close. A 5-second gap back to Matherly, who's just been steady in 4th for a while now. Actually, no, was in 3rd, and Sullivan, right, got past him, but still holding solidly inside the top 5. Some other guys moving around. Balzer just dropped back to 7th position, got passed by Lucas Brun. And Logan Leitzel still in 9th, moved up to there. So just kind of checking in on timing and scoring to see where these guys are at. You could see that at the top of your screen as they scroll by as well. If you guys want to check out the gaps to certain riders yourself, just like Ev Move right there in 14th, 55 seconds behind the lead. But man, great ride by Braden Tharp. This is huge from what he did the first moto. Showed some speed early, but just kind of seemed to fall off almost with his fast lap times and consistency. And now we're seeing him kind of be able to do both. Maybe not blazing speed, had some really fast lap times early, but has just been completely consistent in what he's been doing up front in front of these guys.
Quickly wanted to answer a question in chat. Saru asked, why is there a point out rule for SX but not for outdoors? And I think that's Storms who responded and said they changed it, but they did change it so that now you have to win a championship to be pushed out of 250 Supercross. And I think it's like If you win 2 in your first 3 years, you're forced out. If you win 1 in your first 4 years, you're forced out. And then if you win 1 beyond 4 years, you get 1 year to defend, and then you're forced out. So it's championship based now, it's not points based. But the rule exists because Supercross is a regional championship, whereas 250 Outdoors is a national championship. And so they count it more or less the same as 450 motocross. That's why for a long time, points for Supercross in 250s didn't even count towards a national number. You only got a national number based on outdoor points because it's half the series, half the competition. So they feel like it's stupid to have people more or less sandbagging a half series. National championship, whatever. Like you're facing the best of the best 250 riders in the world at that point. But Supercross, because it's a regional series and not a full national championship, that's why they added a point out, or in this case, a championship out rule to that.
Yeah, I think he was asking before they changed the 251, which thankfully you covered, but I hate the point out rule.
Yeah.
It's for almost our whole lives, since we were at least, 5-10 years old and more. Feels like it really hasn't mattered, and it's been so close to like the same level that there's so many people now kind of calling for it. You hear it throughout the media and stuff where it's just so open, and it's getting to the point where, as my biggest thing too is, as riders, training and fitness and stuff is so much better, and these riders stick around longer. Look at all the dads you have. Look at all the guys racing to super old ages. Normally they'd be 27, 28 years old, retired and done. It's like when you've got guys that are 36 racing in the 450 class, and you've also got guys that have to move up at 25 to the 450 class, you're running out of rides, you're running out of spots, there's too many people, and if you could just stay down, there'd be people like Justin Bogle who would still be racing 250s probably, or that kind of got forced out of the sport because of the rule, and I'd rather not see that. I'd rather see it be a hard gateway into the top, basically 80, if you're going to say 40 and 40 per class, of being the top 80 best motocross racer in the sport and Supercross, and just like getting into being a pro, amateur to pro, be the big gap, not 250 to 450, and then you just get your career ruined after kind of starting but have to end.
Yeah, it's tough no matter which way you slice it, really, just because if you change it to 250 Supercross being all 17 rounds, it's combined series, it's not split up anymore, well then all the teams would be cut in half. You wouldn't have Star having 2 riders on each coast trying to go for a championship because their budgets would be affected by it. So you can't have 8 riders. You'd have 4 riders total, but you wouldn't have 8 riders, 4 on each coast, basically. So you would lose rides in that sense. And then they obviously race all of outdoors. But then if you keep it regional and don't have a point out rule, then you guys just have guys stay in it forever. And is that right too? I don't know. Do you have guys win championships on repeat, on repeat, on repeat? There's not really a good solution. There's been a few that I've heard that I kind of like, but I don't know that there's any one that's really the best.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, we talked about it before. I don't really mind someone dominating and just winning year after year after year, especially if you have 2 coasts in 250. Cool, you go to the other coast and you can dodge him. Like, you don't have to go to that one guy. And if there's 2 guys doing that, well, they're the 2 best. It's like, just be better. If you all had to move up to the 450 class, that guy would be beating you and he'd be in 3rd and you'd be in 15th. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think it's dumb. I wouldn't mind, win a championship if you're Justin Bogle or Jeremy Martin. If you're 5'3" and you're freaking tiny, but you can ride a 250, ride a 250 and be the best 250 rider there is. Like, yeah. I mean, there's classes. It's not Major League Baseball or NBA. It's one thing. There's 2 classes for a reason. So fit whichever one you need to fit in and just do it. I don't know.
Dabs real quick, just to ask my opinion on the GP rule. And look,
that one's worse.
I don't know that an age rule necessarily solves it, but the one thing I will say that I like about the age rule is that it forced eventually Jeffrey Hurlings to be on a 450. It forced Tim Geiser and Roman Fever to be on 450s. It forced Jeremy Seawer and these guys to move up to 450s. And what I liked about it was that they're all elite talents, and they didn't stay in the 250 class just to win a title. They moved up, and because of that, we've had GP championships where those guys are involved. Jeremy Seaver would have stayed on a 250 until 2020, 2021, but instead he was runner-up finisher in GPs for like 4 straight years because he was good enough to do it. Does he win a title? No. Should he be revered for doing it in the first place? Yeah, like he's a very solid rider, and I think that that's cool that we get the most elite talent up against each other. My ideal situation, and it's a perfect world kind of crappy thing, I guess, is there is no distinction. There's one premier class, and so we see right now Hayden Deegan, Levi Kitchen, Tom Vial, RJ Hampshire going against Jet Lawrence, Chase Sexton, Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, the best motocross riders in the world going against each other all the time. Somehow make that work, be great. It's not going to happen, but it'd be awesome. Yes, Deegan's young. Why move him up to a 450 so early? But then if you have a team structure in place that it allows for someone young like that to be able to establish themselves, like you could say Deegan, for example, is a talented enough person to be compared to like a Verstappen in Formula One. And if he gets on a team where he's not going to be expected to win right away but can develop, and then gets on a team where he is expected to win when he's 18 or 19 years old, suddenly he's competitive against Eli Tomac when he's 30, and we just get to see these guys all duke it out. That's what I want.
Technically, too, they don't have to stay there. Like, they come here, and then they could continue a 250 title or a 250.
Yeah.
Like for still battle for a championship here.
Title, yeah.
Like, how old is Tom Vial?
24 now.
So he would have to have moved up already.
Yeah, but he would have to move up because he was a 2-time champion.
So he would have moved up like 2 years ago.
He was supposed to go to a 450 last year.
Okay.
In MXGP.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with that is though, like how many guys that are 5th to 10th place guys or whatever, or maybe not even that, 3 to 5 or 2 to 5 guys over the last 10 years have moved up to GP.
I guess Carr and Matherly right now are
Duking it out, yeah.
Yeah,
It was about
we're
10
missing out on a great overall battle.
We're having
You
a
just
great
gotta-
How many
conversation.
people went away?
You guys
I hate
tell
it.
us battle.
Tell
I
us
hate
to
it.
go off and do something else, talk about a different topic. But anyway, yes, Cade Matherly and Seth Carr are in the fight for an overall win right now because they're
who
splitting
cares?
2-3-3-2. Matherly
250 class,
has
dude.
it
It doesn't even
on a
matter.
3-2. Carr needs to get around him to win the overall. Your Logan Leitzel update, he is currently 9th on the racetrack right now. He is a non-factor in this fight. So these two are the ones that are going to settle for the overall, and with 2 laps to go on the racetrack, they are nose to tail to try to figure it out. This is exactly what we like to see, and I don't think it's going to get any closer than this in these final 2 laps to decide an overall winner.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are just absolutely on each other right now. They were pretty far apart, so I think Carr crashed because I think Carr was in second and way up and then dropped back. So however these guys got here, though, cool to see them battling so close, nose to tail, as this race has been kind of boring in a different way. Tharp just crushing it out front. Everyone else a little bit closer, but see what Matherly does. I mean, the 30-second mark has passed, so these guys got 2 laps to go.
Yeah, 2 laps to go.
We'll see what happens
last time
here.
by, so white flag will be out the next time they go by the flag stand, and Matherly is trying to hold off Carr. Carr has been slightly faster later in these motos so far from what we've seen here tonight, and he is absolutely ripping right now as they jump up this uphill. So let's see what happens. Outside to in, not going to quite work just yet. Jumping down the hill, very close together
Up the
between
inside.
these two. Yeah, inside line for Seth Carr. Is it going to work? Oh, what a
huge
stand-up out of the
save.
corner. Very nice job not to fall right there. But Matherly gets right back by, and Carr goes down on the inside rut. He hit the inside SpongeBob. It's going to be a pretty short fall-off, but I think he got passed by Sully as well. Yes, Luke Sullivan did go by on his TSCZ Productions. Got a request from Panini and TSCZ. Yeah, change it up a little bit. You guys look identical. I don't know which one of you guys wants to budge first, but
Just
you look
change
like
the
the
gear.
exact same team.
There is like a kind of gray bike and there's a white bike. So, but it's the fact that they're both running, like the white bike has gray gear and the gray bike has white
It's a
gear.
Fantic replica. It's a factory Fantic replica there. And the same thing here. There's a little bit more red on that one, but it is...
They're
damn,
both
it looks
Fantics?
similar. Well, they're both Yamahas, and then I assume with the red and white, they're going for the Fantic look. I'll have to zoom in, but Panini did run Fantics last time they raced.
Yeah, someone run like blue gear and someone run red. We're fine.
One's in Leah.
Oh, later,
down
Luke
goes
Sullivan.
Sully.
TSCZ is
Sully's
the
in
one that
Fox.
crashes.
They're in Liat and Liat helmet too, I think.
It looks like it.
What kind of boots are those?
Yeah?
They're A-star, no?
No, they are Liats, yeah. So it's Liat head to toe and Fox
Got
head
a
to toe.
sick triangle on it.
But yeah, change it up. You guys look identical. All right, let's go back to our race leader. We have talked about him none this moto because he's not going to win the overall, but he is going to have one of the best rides of his career. Braden Tharp has led this thing from start and maybe to finish. He's still got to finish this thing off. 13-second lead on the final lap of the race. And quietly got it done. Just pulled away to a nice little gap. Didn't have to put a huge gap on the rest of the field. But this is the way you want to win a moto. May not be ideal after not finishing up near the front in the first one, but rebounding, coming right out, and getting out front in the second moto, taking off, and leading every lap feels really good if you're Braden Tharp.
Yeah, I mean, a huge turnaround from his first moto as well, where he was up there decently and then just kind of fell back and didn't really have anything. Braden Tharp is just absolutely changing it around for the second moto. It's crazy the switch that we've seen. It's like something clicked inside him. Sometimes these guys do go and they ride around for maybe 15-20 minutes of the 450 moto while they take a small break and then practice a little bit, and maybe that's all it kind of took, was seeing the track get broken down after a full 30-minute moto and figuring it out. Good start also helps as well once you just kind of get yourself some clear air and you don't have to worry about it, because we look at the struggles that Logan Leitzel has had, who's still in 9th place after all this time, and he started way back there, and after dominating the first moto, he looks like he's done nothing.
Yeah, who would have guessed it'd be Startcross and Pro Motocross this year, but it is Braden Tharp who takes 250 Moto 2 here at Fox Raceway. Very solid performance to win this one, but this man right here is going to be your overall winner. Final corner down to the line. He missed a lot of Supercross, but he fights back in Pro Motocross to win the opening round. It's Cade Matherly with 3-2 performances here tonight that gets it done. He will tie Seth Carr. We will have 2 red plate holders heading into Hangtown next week. They both had the same amount of points, but it is Matherly who stands atop the podium with the hardware when all is said and done. Luke Sullivan, 4-4 on the evening. I think that should be enough to get third overall, or it might tie him with Tharp. It's going to be really close right there. They might end up on 40 points each. Emmanuel Cepeda, a strong top 5 finish right there. 9th in the first moto, goes 9-5 today. Lucas Bruin looks like he'll finish up in 6th in this one. Much better ride than his 16th that he put down in the first moto. And here is Logan Leitzel, got all the way to 7th, which in the end was pretty darn close to getting himself back on the podium. But he's going to go 1-7 here today, and looks like he will miss out. Actually, let me think. 1-7, he should land on 38 points. So yeah, he's going to miss out on the podium. It's going to go to Luke Sullivan, I believe, on the 4-4. Then it was Balzer P8, Holtze in 9th, and Evan Vanderkoy. Evmoof getting passed up actually at the flag by Maverick Snyder, who gets 10th. Evmoof 11th, Jaden Gomez 12th, Austin Partlow 13th, Austin Schaefer 14th, Ben Nerona 15th, 16th John Heilman 17th, Jack Gatlin. These guys all fighting to the line. Jeremy Schiabro 18th. 19th for Cole Betts, and Ryan Chelsea in 20th. I guess while we're on all these guys, scrolling through the field, everyone's coming to the line. Do we have a lit kit here today?
Kit, I just want to know what bike that Jack Gatlin has.
Jack Gatlin.
The purple.
It's a
KTM.
TM.
Crazy.
We'll go back and take a look at it, but it is a TM. He's on TMFR.
Lit kit right now. I mean, the gear at least like matches it, but
Todd?
I mean, Cade takes it for me, but I'm a Fox.
Is it Fox
Fox
guy?
Honda guy. Like, it's just a good look.
Oh, we got a Finn.
No
We
way.
got a gas
That
guys
guy
with a
looks
fin.
like everyone's vet track warrior. Dude, even looks like a replica like 2014
He's
TLD,
just
like
80
red and
pounds
blue
lighter.
gear. Yeah. He's just not 50 and 250 pounds, but I've got go slowly through like the top 10. Cade's good. Go. There's someone else that caught my eye. That's pretty fresh. That one's clean too. Who is that?
Evmoof.
Yeah, it's got to be Cade. Cade or Evmoof. He just looks like a star guy. Actually, not even that
I do
cool.
like Leitzel's Red Bull Yamaha look. It's pretty clean look.
I think it's almost like you need to watch them before they all disconnect because I'd like to look at them.
Didn't they used to have like a Red Bull Yamaha look in Canada back in the day when it was like dusty
Blackfoot Yamaha.
Dude,
was
that
Red
kit
Bull,
was sick. That's like really the last time I remember like a full blown.
And Stu, when he was on L&M, was
bit,
the Red Bull Yamaha look. Yeah.
But did they have Red Bull on the shroud?
I think they did in 2011.
Did they?
Maybe.
Or was it just a helmet thing?
No, they had Red Bull on the shroud at one point. Let me think.
Spinal.
Spinal.
But yeah, man, that was what a crazy moto for Logan. Like, what a crazy day for Logan. To go from winning by 40 some odd seconds and then just like have to just fight and survive through the pack for the second moto. It's just polar opposites.
Yeah, someone said he still got third overall, which is crazy
wild.
if true.
Crazy true.
Something else crazy if true is Daniel Mills. I see in the starting lineup right here.
Photo, but you can show that to Todd. That's 2011, James.
Oh, Samuel, yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
Is this the year that they ran like a white? Remember the white in like a teal bike?
That was 2010 when he got hurt.
Oh, that bike was sick. I remember that bike.
Yeah, I didn't even know D Mills was racing. You suck.
For those of you at home that are wondering what we're looking at,
Happy
here,
birthday.
Go back to this. This is the Stu look.
Also, that helmet, by the way, was rough. It was like a cheap bell.
I don't know why this camera sucks. We'll use Awood's camera. Maybe.
Wait, the camera that you were just using is the one I gave to you 10 years ago.
It's not working.
Toxic.
Can't get it to load.
Throwing you under
Sad.
the bus.
Really toxic.
Final race of the night, 450 Moto 2. Does Payson walk this one, or
there's no way.
does he get Logan Leitzeled?
There's no way, right?
He does it.
He
I think
does
he
it.
does it.
I think it's a 1-1. Perfect season. People are talking.
Perfect season.
People are saying
One
it.
moto in, perfect season.
People are saying it.
Sad.
It's me on people.
Your people.
Multiple personalities. No, I mean the speed difference for me is Payson's gonna at least be top 3. I think if he falls every lap or every other lap, he still gets a podium.
Okay. Todd?
It's crazy.
You're asking my thoughts on Sakamoto?
Yeah. Is
I already said. I said he goes 1-1. I think he does.
Goes 1-1. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he. His speed is so crazy that if he doesn't even need a whole shot. Like just get like 20th place start. Nice. He still has it.
Okay. All right.
That fast it seems like right now.
Let's see what we got. Caleb Hall, T-Lane, Gerst, Burns, Cavaciuti, Johnson, Smith, Bindis, Bear, Eaglin, Vial, Davis, Parks, Shirley, Lucas, Blakely, Roella, Spies, Larson, Lucas, Shirley, Lucas, Blakely, Roella, Atkinson, Hubbard, Leclerc, Ortiz, Jackson, Deering, Pachone, Boardman, Whelan, Carter, Parker, Castellaneta, Mills, Donovan. Do we have a Design Lab Co. whole shot winner?
I mean, do I go 2 for 2 and just win it with Payson?
You certainly can try.
You called the first 450 moto?
Oh no, Hubbard came in here and said, "Bro, I got a whole shot." And shout out to
No, but I
Hubbard.
don't think he did because we were going on the cameras and it still gave it to Payson.
Did it really?
So if he went through the
timing gate
if
wise.
I went through the timing gate over and over and over again and it didn't change, it was still Payson.
Yeah, I mean,
So I don't know.
We'll
Hubbard
see.
might be fake news.
Hubbard's fake news.
Breaking news.
Payson
Hubbard's
Johnson.
unaware of his
I got
surroundings.
Payson for the Design Lab Co. whole shot award.
I've got Jacoby Hubardo. Design Lab Co.
who's
whole
Jacoby?
shot. Got anything for us over there, Tej?
I'm gonna go Leclerc.
All right, Leclerc, we got 3 different guys that could get the whole shot here.
So loud.
So let's find out who it is going to be. Let's pick out, well, there's Braden Carter way down the inside. T-Burns with a good gate pick. Here we go. 450 Moto 2 is off and running at Fox Raceway. Leclerc is going to get pinched. Hubbard's going to get to the corner first. He's going to push everyone out. He's going to tuck the front end as well. And I think he went down. Design Lab Co. whole shot. No, it was Hubbard. Someone else up the inside. Another Honda ends up going down, but it is Hubbard who gets the start. He gets crossed up, and Pachon goes down. 2 riders, second and third go down.
You got to buy one, get one.
He's a demon.
So it's Lucas with Castellaneta, Carter with a good start. More riders going down. Oh, this is going to be bad. A lot of guys are going to go down right here. Yep, this is going to take a lot of people with them. How are they all missing that? So many guys should have went down right there that
spotters,
did not.
or maybe just the fact that it's a split line and people aren't going to that middle there, so they are either far left or far right, and they all went down there. Hubbard, I guess, sent a screenshot to iMoto, who, what's his real name? It's our stat guy.
Yeah, stat guy. I don't remember.
Sent him a screenshot and was like, nah, dude, I got the whole shot line. There's no timing gate, but I got it. So Hubbard with the whole shot in the first one. Hubbard with the whole shot in the second one. He said he's going for most whole shots. Can he do a perfect season, or how close can he get? He told us that the last round of Supercross, and so far he's 2 for 2. So might have to change up our picks from here on out.
So it's Hubbard, Lucas, Carter, Leclerc with a good start, Davis, T-Lang, Shirley, Parks, Spieth, and then Payson Johnson in 10th. So Johnson has a little bit more work cut out for him this time. And on top of that, he's got to pass all the guys that really were pretty good but did not have good starts in the first moto. I know it's Johnson, but we'll see if he can just slice and dice right through them easily or not.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of how level-headed he can be, because he knows he has the speed. It's if you're 3, 4, or 5 seconds lap faster than them, especially on the early track. He was actually dropping his biggest lap time difference like in his first maybe 6, 7 laps. If he can do that but not get like stressed out and try to force the issue, just make it happen on the one or two big lines you have, I think he can do it. But if he tries to push it up the inside with a line he's not familiar with, I think we can easily see him going down and not making moves.
So already onto the back tire of, I think that's Ethan Parks in the 8th spot. Jake Spieth going to go down the inside of Spieth and make the move stick by the looks of it. Up into 9th, and then there's Parks. D. Davis, Seth Shirley with a good start. Lang, man, this is actually pretty stacked out front. Timothy Lucas up here is just wondering what he is doing with his hands right now. Has no control over them as he is locked in a battle. Hubbard, then Lucas, Carter, Leclerc, Lang, Shirley, Davis, Parks, Johnson is your top 9 positions right now. What do we think about what Braden Carter could do with a start right here? He came from 32nd to 2nd, crashed on the last lap in the first moto. Is the outdoor Braden Carter suddenly arriving?
I mean, maybe. The thing about me, or what he's told me, is he doesn't really believe in himself. And I mean,
sad.
Carter, yeah, very sad. Knows he's the best in Supercross, kind of has that aura to him and can kind of laugh it off, but this, he really doesn't know where he's going to be. He really wasn't expecting to perform well, so his Moto 1 finish was really surprising to me. I just don't really know what to expect, but if he comes out and he's top 3 in points, after this round, I feel like I've got to see maybe 2 to 3 tracks of being inside top 5, and then I could be like, okay, he's a contender, he's there. But as far as blazing balls out speed, I don't think if Leclerc or Payson Johnson are kind of on. Seth Shirley, Jacob Hubbard right now is looking good, but those guys, if they're at their elite speed, I don't know if Braden Carter has the extra 1 or 2% at the top
what gear
of
is
his
this
level.
That he's in too, by the way?
Probably 5th and 4th all the time. If he's
Alpine Stars with the
7?
oh, that gear.
It's Fox.
It's freaking sick.
No, it's not
it's
Fox.
Honda.
There's no way. Active.
Ooh.
Active Co. Just like, yeah, it's Phil's, so they're all on active gear. Muscle Milk, Hondas, very clean, very plain, looking like Andrew Short.
Oh, that is Muscle Milk on the shroud. I didn't even realize
Doesn't
that.
have-
That's sick.
Doesn't have the
is, yeah.
stock triangle that Hondas have on the front with the warning to always wear your helmet and ride responsibly. But that's what they used to run on HRC. Remember those days?
Tanner Rogers says $100 that Hubbo does not make it through the first 6 laps of this. So we'll see what happens with our race leader.
I had $100.
You're on lap 3.
I would bet you.
Timothy Lucas, Burb Moto Rising Stars. Rising star indeed. He is closed up on Hubbard for the race lead. This is quite the impressive ride out of the 134 ride, who is pulled away from Carter and Leclerc battling for third and found his way into a fight for the race lead. What is happening
triple
right now?
on up there by Hubbard right there. He's always the big line guy in Supercross, and it's cool to see him kind of doing that in outdoors as he gets to that position where he can triple something that other guys are doubling just to make it change, hit a little bit different line, avoid some ruts. But Timothy Lucas, have no idea who he is. We're probably going to get roasted in chat and be like, dude, he's like the four-time
EMF like 9 times, bro. Pay attention.
EU, dude, he's the best. And I'm going to be like,
you guys are fucking
I don't
sucking.
know, but in my head, we got a random that's challenging for the race lead right now, and it's not lap 6. We're halfway there, but Hubbard is already about to blow it and get passed by Timothy as he's sending it up the inside. Someone please in chat give me the Timothy Lucas.
Oh, Hubbard doesn't make it to lap 6, and he
he's
brings
down 2.
Timothy with him.
And just like that, we've got the battle of 1-2, Alexis Leclerc, not 2. 1-9, Braden Carter, Alexis Leclerc running 2-1 right now. Seth Shirley, 250 title, undefeated, comes in third place as well. 1, 9, and 2 in your program.
Braden Carter that we're racing outdoors? Like, why?
Dude, he's cooking. Look at him go.
I think there's enough braking bumps
Damn,
where he's
dude.
like,
He's looking minty fresh out
double
there,
these.
dude. I'll tell you what.
I do like the gear too.
It is a pretty solid look. Not
Easy
gonna
to
lie.
spot.
Seth Shirley's moved into third, by the way. Lucas picks it up in fourth. Hubbard fifth. Spieth, Davis, and then Johnson now on D. Davis for seventh. So this fight continues as the battle for the lead brews. Leclerc is in a position to go 2-1 and win the overall as it stands. Of course, there is a lot of racing left, and we'll see if Payson Johnson starts busting out some Bobby Big lines to make his way up there. Gets around D. Davis. He is now into seventh. Jake Spieth up ahead of him is the next target for him. I feel like this fight for the lead is the one to watch, man. I don't think Carter's going to let the one machine of Leclerc go.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. The gap is 1.6 right now, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that and see where this goes. 1.78, 1.75, 2 seconds. Braden Carter is losing it, so let's keep an eye on Braden and see if he can
Haywood, why
not
did you have to
fall
say that?
down.
Haywood. With the commentators. Curse!
Oh, and he
Dude.
killed himself again.
Carter, what kind of track wrench is that? Were you
What
born
in the-
yesterday, dude? You're a 4-time champion. You're better than this.
What in the whiskey biscuit is that?
Oh, my goodness. Come on, you whisker biscuit. As Spieth and Johnson went by, Hubbard went by,
He is
Timothy
now
Lucas went
down
by.
to 9th. Payson Johnson went by. D. Davis
Oh, and the
went
leader's
by.
down. Leclerc is down. Shirley takes over the lead. Lucas
Wow.
goes by. And Leclerc picks it up as Jacob Hubbard gets there. Suddenly, Payson Johnson going around Jake Spieth is in fifth, knocking on the door of the race lead because it's not too far ahead of him. It's Seth Shirley on the Panini Motorsports number 2. First time in an outdoor national, Seth Shirley has led in the 450 class. Let's see what he's made of, the young buck on the number 2.
Yeah, Leclerc literally went down where Purcell went down when he lost the championship. Like the same exact spot. French, like the French guys, I don't know what it is with that corner. They struggle with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There might just be a baguette at the bottom of that rut that just bites him every
Ooh,
once in a
baguette.
while. But Shirley now leading from Timothy Lucas, who is back on his horse. He's done 2:16.773 as his best lap. Leclerc had ran the fastest lap of the race last time by to 2:16.4, then fell. Now he's back here in fourth, and here comes Payson Johnson on Jacob Hubbard for fifth. On the inside, going to pull up alongside of him. Do we see Johnson air out the finish line jump?
If he starts doing that, I'm calling.
he's gonna yard sale instead.
No. And maybe
the second you started talking about him, dude.
Maybe.
if he starts doing that.
I'm just gonna mute my mic and hang out for the
Mute
rest
up,
of the
dude.
night. But it's crazy. I was gonna say if he starts doing that, I think he can just go up. If he's like confident to hit that maybe 2 or 3 times, I think he's got that speed. The crazy thing is for Leclerc too. I've been there before too. You run your fastest lap. For him, it's the fastest lap of the whole entire race. Only on lap 4, but you got 40 people on the track, and then you fall the very next lap. It's
Yep.
just like the absolute worst. When you go out and you throw it down, you're like, okay, that's my best. I wasn't even pushing, and now I can kind of chill. So very cool for him. But man, Leclerc is going to be able to push back up. I'm certain Payson Johnson, who fell and is still ahead of Braden Carter, can get back up there. Seth Shirley, though, and Timothy Lucas are the guys that I'm like super surprised with so far.
Yeah, Timothy Lucas, the first moto, 29th. So quite the turnaround. I'm sure he's a ripper, but I don't know what happened in the first moto. And by the way, Braden Carter is trying to dice up Payson Johnson right here. He has been pushing on him. Gonna land on the rear tire and just make an easy pass down the inside. And then Payson runs into his rear tire and goes down.
Yeah, I mean, Payson is just impatient.
All right.
I was going for it.
All right.
Impatient right there, and just I think it's sometimes he has a little bit too much speed, and he needs to realize that you need to take different lines to get around people. And yeah, you can go out and win by a minute and a half, but if you can't make your way up from 15th off the start, I know he was deeper than that, to first, it shows that you got something you have to work on. If you don't get the start first, second, or third, and you can't win, that's going to be a problem over the course of a championship. Full 11 rounds, 22 motos that you have to go. So, I mean, really impressed, though, by Braden Carter and the way that he's done this. Getting a better start, able to work his way up, fall backwards, now work his way back almost inside of the top 5 again. Just looking really good so far. Coming out of Supercross, where I thought he was going to be racing 125s next week. Here he is.
Yeah, he's
trying to be top 3, top 4 in points.
Yeah, gonna walk away with the red plate real quick. Payson Johnson slipped back into 9th. He repassed Devin Davis for 8th again, so he is currently in the 8th spot. Carter on screen here is in 6th. He's trying to close up to Jake Spiess, who rounds out our top 5 just up ahead of him on his District Designs ride. Jacob Hubbard 4th, Leclerc still 3rd, Lucas 2nd, and Seth Shirley has sprinted out to a 4.5 second lead and 2:14.7 out of Seth Shirley. Hold up, let him cook.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this track is, even watching Payson, besides jumping the finish line, did we see anything that was really like egregiously like a different line?
But that's what was so weird about the first moto. No one was doing 2:18s, 2:17s, like a handful of guys dipped their toes in it.
Like, we watched him not jump the finish line, push the last corner, and get a 2:15.7. And it's like, how does that happen? I see him land on the rear wheel in the rollers and kind of do these things where he's always like over jump stuff. But what I just don't understand, yeah, and Lucas in 2nd dropped a 2:15.1, but there's nothing that's like, oh my God, this guy's going a second faster in this one downhill or doing something like that. It's just seems like they're slowly building around the track, which is weird to see such a big gap between all of these veterans and championship winners that have elite speed. I just don't understand. Like, I feel like none of us can visually see where they're making the time up.
I mean, do you think they go back between motos and like watch Payson's perspective?
I'm sure they do that a little bit, but they also probably spend a little bit more time refining their lines on the track, because what they can do as well is during the 250 moto, wait till halfway, track's roughened up, then start putting in laps on the track and see how they can attack it differently. Because they the thing is these guys all go to qualifying servers. We were on one last night that had 25 people on it, but it doesn't rough up the same way because these guys are all hitting the same lap as consistently strong as they do
2
over and over again. It's not 30 plus 2 exactly. So they probably haven't seen the track in this condition. Now that they've been able to see it, they can go back, like you said, Todd, take a look at a couple different things and show up for the second moto much more prepared.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a couple different things. Like, one of the biggest things, especially in Supercross, is just corner speed. But it's jumping into, when you see 3 or 4 braking bumps on the screen, and then you see a rut that these guys are laying it into. Right here, they've been doing it. Skipping those 3 bumps he hit and jumping into that corner. It's a big mistake, and that's somewhere where you're losing all that time braking, keeping that kind of roll speed up that you would talk about in Supercross, being on the brakes less, jumping in, getting your lean angle, and kind of railing that rut. But there's nothing that I feel like has been one single corner or one single section, 1 or 2 even, that is like such a big difference between the guys running a 220 and a 214.15. I almost can't see it visually. Like, it's just that little bit faster, 2/10 everywhere.
Someone was dying in the background of that shot right there. I don't know who it was.
I feel like that's what I normally catch when you're talking. And
Lucas just slid out and Leclerc is going to go by. So Leclerc up into 2nd place as it stands right now, Seth Shirley would win the opening round with 3-1 scores. Leclerc would finish second overall with 2-2 scores. And then Payson Johnson with 1-4 scores would finish up on the podium in third. So that is where we are currently at right now. There's still half of this moto left to go. 15 minutes up, 15 minutes to go. In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more. If you just go to LVK, or no, go to evs-sports.com and use the code LVK30, you can save 30% off on
double
your
that
EVS knee brace, neck brace, whatever you want from EVS. Head over there and check them out. Appreciate the support they give to the LVK show. If you haven't listened to it already, I would highly recommend. Good quality bencher over there.
Good bants. Quality bants, as they would say. Maybe not in Europe, but in Oz. That was one of the best worst sad reads I've ever heard.
Best worst sad reads.
Well, the fact that you're like come to drop it for the first time of the night and just mess it up is awesome.
Well, I got to do it when it's 30 minutes in because it's a 30% deal, bro. You can't,
It's a
LVK
30%.
30 get 30% off. Payson Johnson's doing lines I've never even seen people do. He's hopping over bumps like we've never seen before.
Payson's
and he's still in
doing
fourth
lines?
place. What?
Crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, you're 15 halfway through the moto, 15 minutes in. What's better than 15 minutes is the full 30. Go to EVS, get that full 30, send it just like Payson is.
Over the finish
Get
line,
yourself
yeah.
some cool stuff. You know he
2:16.2.
would have blown his knee out if he didn't wear EVS.
Yeah, true.
It's on there, TP199s.
Saru, send me your email and DM, and I'm going to send it to Cohen Hour tonight and be like, you handle this, bro. So, hook it. Oh, Lucas down out of second, and Leclerc just picked it up in third.
Went to third, then back to second, and now losing it? Or lost back again, right?
Yeah, Leclerc is kind of struggling a little bit. Shirley looks like he maybe has this thing a little bit more in the bag comparatively because Leclerc has been kind of warming his arm up in the bullpen to throw this thing away. We'll see how he does for the rest of the moto. But right now, he has got Payson Johnson breathing down his neck on the 51 machine. A couple Hondas ready to do battle in the outdoor championship. And we'll see what happens.
Love it.
You know, here's my theory, okay? All these 450 guys are running Hondas.
Hondas look better than
It's
every
just-
other bike?
No,
Yes.
No, here's my theory. But yes, Todd definitely does think that as Leclerc goes down out of third. For whatever reason, we always have the bike of choice be the most recent championship bike. So everyone ran KTM's indoors because Chase Sexton was the defending champion. Now we have everyone running Hondas because Jet Lawrence is the defending champion.
You
Back in
really
2023, everyone was running Yamahas because Eli Tomac won the outdoor title. And oh, look at the freaking Yamahas. Just run what you guys like. Why does everyone always change their bikes up?
You really think that that's why?
I don't think it's why, but it's like just change it up, brah.
I think that's a really weird coincidence because I've never been on a team where that's been even a thought in our mind. Like I've never heard that until you just said it right now over being around Sim for so long. For me, it's they released a new KTM model. So maybe the modeler was like, oh, dude, or a new one comes out or it's just what happens. But I don't not trying to say you're not right, but I don't think people think about that. I think it's just a weird coincidence. New model gets released. It's the best. It's got the most polys. It looks the best. The skins are the best. So then everyone buys it, which they do now, and then everyone runs it. But we do always have that. Hondas look the best, though. So if there was 40 Hondas on the gate, I would not care. I'm a Honda guy for life. And they look sick. Handguards, red plates, whatever. Hondas are sick. So the KTMs, dude, was so bad, though. Like 15 KTMs in Supercross. Terrible.
Yeah, I'm out on the running replicas of all brands represented because that just equals cease and desist, and I'm good with that. We don't need that.
And it happens where there are creators that love this game and spend hundreds of hours and then now sell their stuff, which I'm not against, but they're hard work. They get rewarded for it, but they work on these new models. People buy them. Oh, Payson went down. People buy them, and then that's kind of what gets ran. So if you force someone to buy a Suzuki or to run a Suzuki, but they wanted to buy the new Yamaha model from the guy who put in hundreds of hours on it, like you're hurting that creator, that digital content creator. So that's where it's a hard thing. I guess we just have to do more real life Supercross commentary.
There are a lot of triumphs and Fantics, and that's great, but like there's only a handful of Yamahas. I've seen one Suzuki here tonight. Congratulations, Suzuki.
Balzer.
Yep, Balzer running the Suzuki.
I mean, that's like real life, though.
Yeah, here's a Triumph.
It
by
is
the way.
represented
Frank
exactly
Jackson on
how
the
it is in
Triumph.
real
Close.
life.
We got a Honda here for Leclerc. We got Timothy Lucas
We
on
don't know what they're
whatever
running.
he's on. So we go Fantic, Honda, Honda, Triumph, don't know, Honda, Yamaha, Honda, no, Fantic, Kawasaki, there we go, D. Davis, change it up. Honda, T-Lang's probably on a Honda. Hey, KTM, there's another one. All right, we got another one.
Temecula Motorsports couldn't afford the the new Honda model, I guess.
Yeah. It happens every year, and I'm beating a dead horse at this point because I remember back in like 2012, 2013. Oh my gosh, the new Yamaha's here. Everyone runs the Yamaha. Oh my gosh, the new Cowie's here.
Andy
Everyone's
Hack
running
Cowie, a Tacker
Yeah.
Suzuki that looks
Oh,
like a
look at-
freaking
yeah.
limousine.
And then look, Andy Hack released the new KTM. Spitfire's running it. It looks fucking dope. We're all running in 2015. Yay.
They would release it on Pure MXS.
So just change it up. That's all I'm saying. But
Crazy.
Payson Johnson and all this did move into second place. Seth Shirley is pretty gone, and Johnson went down again. So 24-second lead for Seth Shirley with 9 minutes left to go in this moto. Shirley's not going to win the overall with a 3-1. He's going to lament that he didn't get second in that first moto. But a pretty good return in this one if he's able to win it. I think Johnson still wants to win it, dude. He is pushing right now to try to close this gap down. And 23 seconds. Pretty far, though. I feel like even if he runs good, strong, consistent laps in the 14-15 range, it'd be pretty tough sell to get him all the way up there.
I mean, you got to look at the bottom left of the screen there. His last lap was a 2:26.1, so you got to think he lost at least 6 seconds there, maybe? Let's see. He ran a 2:20, so he lost 6 seconds last lap. Could have been at 16 seconds back. I think with 9 minutes, 8 minutes, and 2 laps to go, I do think there's a big chance that he could actually get back up there. The thing that we always need to talk about once outdoors happens is remember that a crash is 8 to 12 seconds, and you talked about this earlier, but when you're leading a race, 20 seconds does not feel... might be the closest you can get to feeling comfortable with the lead, because if you fell, you might have one more crash. You might have 2 crashes to work with, but if it's a bad one, you definitely can't fall again. So 22 seconds and under is a very dangerous spot for whoever's in the lead. So if Payson doesn't fall, the leader falls once, then it's literally one fall away and then your spot is changed. So I think Payson Johnson gets a couple more seconds in the next few laps, and this thing is a whole different ball game.
I don't know if y'all are watching this lap right now, but he just did some stupid stuff.
He's
He did like
freaking
this
nuts.
wheelie over the roller on the uphill section in the back. He's hopping between ruts like it's nobody's business. This might be a new fastest lap of the race, which is a 2:14.546 out of Payson Johnson. Let's see if he goes even below that. Look at that. Hopping over that single right there. No one's doing that. He's finding a little notch and jumping over it. He gained 5 seconds on this lap so far. So, yeah, he's moving pretty good. Let's see. Does he launch the finish?
He has to.
Yep, goes for it. Might be a tiny bit short. Nope, got it. 2:14.2, new fastest lap of the race.
Fastest
There you
lap
go.
of the race on lap 10. The next fastest inside the top 10 was put down on lap 5. So lap 7, I guess, T-Lang. But
Well, let's
Yao
see.
8th. But still, it's like people haven't been
And he
running
went
fast
down.
laps for a while. And he's down, so it doesn't really matter. But Seth Shirley could also go down.
He could, but
Ran a 2:23 last
I
time
think that
around.
was our chance right there. If Payson was going to close down on Seth, that is where it was going to happen. I think it's over now. Hey, shout out Frank Jackson. Putting the Triumph up in third right now. They haven't made a 450 yet, but in the video game, here it is. And he has done a really good job of just quietly sneaking into a podium spot here. 222.8 last time by, 219.9. He's not setting the world ablaze necessarily, but he is on the box, and that's all that really matters right now.
Is he going 4-3? Yeah.
Yeah, 4-3 for Frankie Jackson right
Just
now.
the quietest podium, probably close to it.
Yeah, well,
that
Leclerc,
we've
let's
seen
see,
in a while.
Leclerc is going 2.5, so 4.3 would equal that.
Payson 1-2. Leclerc 2-5. Seth Shirley though had to have been like 4-1, right?
Well, Seth Shirley's going 3-1, so
3-1.
yeah.
Okay,
it's,
so but Frank Jackson like top 5 basically, just coming
Yeah,
out
on the
going
podium,
4-3. Has maybe had 1 or 2 good rides in Supercross that really stood out, and then you just come out and do this, like that's crazy.
No, he's cruising.
I think
Like,
we've
he's-
talked about him for a total before this of 2 seconds tonight.
Saatchi's racing at 250 outdoors. And it sounds like the 450 is not going to be ready for 2025. So
Really?
yeah.
Just wait till TLD goes to Ducati. We're gonna have 18 manufacturers.
I mean, hey, I'm all for it because it's like, dude, it's just more rides, right?
I
More
like it
money,
too.
More rides.
Hopefully. I still feel that it's great right now. At some point, it's going to be oversaturation and not enough companies are going to be making money. Then we're going to have too many start pulling out at the wrong times.
Yeah. There's a
You can
give
just
and
hate it
take.
when you pull at the wrong time.
Yo.
Barboza wants first person on Frank. We'll give it to him for 3 corners. Let's see what we got. Pretty good there.
Both.
Is he doing the pacing line? I'm not too sure about
No
that.
shot. I want to see one person. If you're in a chat with someone else, tell me who's gonna do it, and we'll spectate them. Someone in chat. I want to see someone go for the pacing line. See if
And it
anyone
can't
could
be
even
last
do
lap.
it.
It can't be last lap.
Can't be last lap. Can't be like someone in 35th or worse, which probably is not even racing anymore.
I mean,
Yeah, just send it. Spencer Turley. Someone get him out there. D Mills will do it. He's in 19th, holding on to a point by 2. Happy birthday. Almost. Sucks, dude. Supposed to be good in outdoors.
Do you think Turley, when he throws dualies with someone, just yells, "What's up, my dudes? My dudes."
Yeah. I thought we were on the same page there.
Nah, not quite.
Oh,
Frank
Frank.
Jackson down out of 3rd place, and he's going to pick it up still in 3rd place. Jake Spiess, quietly, a very good moto out of the 216 District Designs ride. I do not have their skins, unfortunately, but a really good ride nonetheless out of Spiess, and now he's going to close up on Frank Jackson in a battle for 3rd. These guys are 46 seconds off the lead, but you only need to be in 3rd place to get the points for 3rd, so that's all that matters for them. Leclerc's trying to keep it close and tidy. Here's Hubbard in 6th, Lang 7th, and Carter 8th, so this is a good little fight right here between the 78, the 5, and the 9 on the racetrack for 6th place. No one able to get this line cleanly through here.
Battle for 3rd is 2/10.
Battle for 3rd, 2/10.
Oh, Jackson holding on. We got Spiess going for it. Both of them not sending. See, that's what I was saying. You got to slow down and jump to where you want, or send it and pray, which I think is out when it's this early, or with this late in the race.
Shirley went down. Shirley down with the lead.
Shirley
even?
down with a 13-second gap. That's
Oh,
going to bring it to
okay.
4 seconds.
Oh,
4.28 as Payson crosses the line with a 216.9, 231.0 last lap around by your leader, Seth Shirley. And this is where he's woken up.
Yeah, this is going to be a gnarly finish to this one. I feel like Payson Johnson wants to win this at all costs. And really, all that matters is just qualifying laps, because even if he goes down, he's still going to finish 2nd regardless. So just put the pressure on Shirley and make him work for it. Shirley is going to start running out front. And, yeah, Shirley, 450 debut, full-time 450 motocross. And I had heard a little bit of rumblings that he may stay 250 for outdoors. I'm glad he chose to stay on a 450, but regardless of which, he's going to try to hold on and win this second moto, the second 450 moto of his career over Payson Johnson. Johnson is coming up behind, though, and see what he can do.
I like watching Todd watch these racers, and Payson is just absolutely crazy, but someone who doesn't watch streams all the time of the racing, I just sit there and watch Payson do something, and I hear, what? Like, just the reactions that I've seen
well, like,
Todd
it was
have.
something like so simple, but like just sending it into that rut before like the
And he-
camelback kind of thing, like the double thing. Like, what in the hell?
He learned something last year in Supercross, like with the suspension, you can like OJ stuff, like
Yeah.
3.5 and land on your rear and like the way it compresses and just shoot forward. And it's like he did that.
Inside move, side by side.
Come take it away.
Closing the door off for the lead, not quite. Shirley's got the inside line. Oh, and he
Shirley
jumps
off
off the track. He's going to try to rejoin right in front of him. He holds it. Johnson is giving him the business, though, and they're going to come to the the 2-lap flag, I should say, this time by. Oh, it's going to be close, actually, but I think that it's going to be 2 to go. 20 seconds left on the clock. Oh my goodness. Johnson wants a piece of him. I thought he was going to try to do the line, but Shirley does it instead. He's the one that jumps over the single this time.
Yeah, I mean, these guys switching up. Shirley's got some of these lines in his pocket. I mean, his best lap time is a 2:14.7 this race, where Payson Johnson has a 2:14.2. I think he had a 2:13 as the best lap in the first moto. So Seth Shirley figured something out, learned how to run those 2:14s. They're the only people below a 2:16.4 in this race. So these guys both have the speed. Seth Shirley's not going to be scared of him.
Oh, Shirley stands it up in the rut.
Mistake.
Johnson takes the lead momentarily. Shirley's trying to fight back outside to in. Not quite close enough. Different option lines through there, and Johnson has taken over the lead here. It is 2 laps to go. They crossed just after time had expired. And now can Johnson run away, or is Shirley going to fight back immediately? Inside line, Shirley launching out to flat a little bit further. We know Shirley does not like to give up race wins, and Johnson just made a big mistake. Shirley's going to close right up behind him again. Up and over the tabletop jump into the midsection of this racetrack. Now the question is, Johnson, he's got some crazy lines that have worked to his favor to try to make passes. Does Shirley have something similar?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Shirley has the sheer raw stuff, but I do think he has some of the smoothness. I mean, he's been leading for how many laps of this race? We're 31 minutes in. He's probably led for, 29 of them. And he's got it. I think he can work his way through, and I think he might have a little bit more patience. Even being a 250 rider, moving up to 450 for the first time, and I think he might have a little bit more of a kind of, I guess, skill and patience moving around these lap riders is what I'm trying to say. And look at this, Payson Johnson sending it up the inside, blows the inside rut. Shirley to the inside, he's going to take it over.
Wow,
just
what
like
a
that.
move.
Huge difference. There's so much, such a distance gap between that first and that fourth rut that Payson ended up in.
Johnson back down the inside is going to force the issue and passes him back. Great back and forth. Shirley almost goes down, lands sideways. He keeps it on, though, and funnels in right behind him into this rut. Lap traffic trying to get out of the way and not impede in their battle. I think that was B-Lars on the 76 right behind them. But this fight is so good. They're 50 seconds ahead of everybody else. And look at Shirley picking up on that line, jumping across.
Frank Jackson 50 seconds back, having a great ride in third, beating Leclerc, Braden Carter, all these champions, and he's just crushing it. But Payson Johnson was on another level in the first moto. Seth Shirley able to rise to the occasion, become on another level with him, riding in second place now in the second moto. These both these riders having a great ride here tonight. Man, this is absolutely unbelievable. Right now, Payson Johnson up front. Looks like he's going to be able to pull away, but there is 1 lap to go. The track is at its roughest, and we'll see what Shirley can do to gain back. He is down to a 2-second gap right now. Not sure, Kellen. Do you think he's going to be able to reel it in, or do you think Payson might get a little bit sketchy here?
He's going to need some help. I think Payson Johnson ripped those few corners after the finish just enough to open up a gap. It's 2.7 seconds now. He is going to need a mistake out of the 2022 national champion Payson Johnson, who's trying to come back to racing and go 1-1, and that might be it right there. And he's down. He's off the bike. He swapped up the uphill and goes down. He's going to hand it back to Seth Shirley. He had it in the bag, and all he did was cross rut going up the face. A slight mistake, and it cost him in a big way.
I was hydrating right there. My mouth was full of water, but I thought he might make a mistake. I said it a couple turns before. He's just sending it so hard, and it seems like he doesn't realize when to. Oh my God, Seth Shirley was just down outside before the roller. That was Seth Shirley there, confirmed on timing and scoring. Look at that. So he makes his own mistake right after Payson throws it away. Can you believe, after winning the first moto by so much time, absolutely dominating, that this race has come down to 3 lead changes in the last lap between these two? Seth Shirley stepping up, Payson Johnson coming from behind and making it work, and then Seth Shirley finally throwing it away again. Let's see what happens. There's a lot of time to go. Seth Shirley had trouble with this corner the last couple laps. Does he make it cleanly? Looks like he pushed the front again, ends up off track again, struggling with that inside rut there. Payson Johnson, only 4 corners to go.
Yeah, Johnson in and out of this corner at the top of the hill, back down through the canyon, and off of this big tabletop, scrubs it down. He is not going to go for the double line. Oh, he does, and he gets it wrong. Oh, he almost went down. He saw sideways, and Seth Shirley goes down behind him. That will lock it in. Payson Johnson coming down to the flag in his return to racing after missing much of the Supercross season. Payson Johnson is going to sweep the Fox Raceway National Moto 2, and the overall goes to the 51 of Johnson.
That's pretty unreal. Seth Shirley threw it away 2 or 3 turns before. Okay, luckily he's got about 35 seconds back, but I mean, 3 turns to go. He knows that there's this big line you can do to jump over this roller and get into this corner. He has to send it. He goes for it. He makes a mistake. But what an insane ride by him, able to come back and just show everyone that he's coming from 250 class and knows that he can do it. Another great ride here by Frank Jackson. 4-3 on the day. Absolutely shocking all of us. Kind of gone a little bit silently, like worked his way up slowly and just... I mean, we don't talk about him too much. Frank Jackson come across in 3rd. Maybe this is a name we're going to have to keep an eye out for the rest of the outdoor season.
Yeah, that was a very solid performance today by Frank Jackson. Very under the radar. Leclerc he's going to steal the podium away from Frank Jackson right there.
Poor guy.
A 2-4 is going to beat out a 4-3 from Jackson. So Leclerc ends up on the box here today with 40 points to 38, I think that is, that Frank Jackson's going to pick up. Jake Spieth, a solid top 5. Trevor Burns, 6th. Barely talked about him. All these guys back here. Pablo Vial. Jacob Hubbard slips down to 8th position at the end. Dylan Cavicciuti will get 9th. And T-Lang ends up all the way back in 10th. So Braden Carter, ideal scenario for him appears to be start outside of the top 30, work your way up to 2nd. If he starts in 3rd, he's not going to finish up inside of the top 10. He's trying to launch to the finish and doesn't quite get it as Ethan Gerst got him on the Twizy ride. Killian Ortiz ends up 13th, D. Davis 14th, Timothy Lucas ends up 15th, Ash Deering 16th, Atkinson 17th, Boardman 18th, Noah Bindis 19th, and Braden Castellaneta looks like he, might get a freebie right there. Or did he? No, that was a lapped rider, but he's trying to duke it out with Bindis all the way to the flag right here. They're both going to send, and Bindis still gets it. They both kind of cased it. Ethan Parks
didn't sequence that.
Just short. B-Lars, Pachone, Blakely, Hall, Bear, Turley, Langstrip, Rowella, Stubbs, Mills, Donovan, Parker, Smith, Eaglin, Whelan, Marchini. Only 37 riders looks like started this second 450 moto. But in the end, it was Payson Johnson. Instant disconnect. Still floating in the air. Did he make it to the landing before he disconnected? Barely. He's hovering just above the landing before he alt F4'd the game.
That's a little sketch.
It is sketch. Like I'm
doing it that,
yeah.
Like that close. You're like, what if it didn't happen?
And we did get a Twizy sweep. Payson Johnson and Cade Matherly both putting Twizy on top here tonight. And cuts do confirm Johnson does go 1-1 at the opener from Shirley, Jackson, Leclerc, and Spieth.
3 seconds of cuts. Shirley less than 1 second of cuts. So, cool there. I wonder if anything changed.
You can see that?
Yeah. Kind of. My eyes are getting, one of them's getting bad. But yeah, I've had
Carter
good
leaped
eyes.
Ethan Gerst. Ethan was 11th, goes all the way to 13th. There's a couple changes right there, but yeah. Payson Johnson and Twizy on top, along with Cade Matherly in the 250 class. All right. That is going to do it for us tonight here at Fox Raceway, the opening round of the RaceFactory Gaming National Championship. We'll get back in studio with you guys, Kellen Brower, Andrew Wood, Todd Gutierrez. Hung out all night long. It was a long night. Todd finally gets to experience a national broadcast with us, and he's ready to call it a night.
Hey, we've only been live for 3 hours and 32 minutes.
Only.
Light work.
Yeah. Honestly, like, if I could game during this a little bit, like if we had a halftime where like I could do something gaming wise, it would be a little bit better. Calling nonstop racing for 4 hours is a lot. But yeah, it was a good night. Payson Johnson, Cade Matherly get the wins. Any real big surprises that we could take away from tonight?
Frank Jackson, Payson Johnson, just top speed, but Shirley kind of matched it. And then 250, I guess, seems wide open. Seemed like it was going to be the worst thing ever after Logan Leitzel first moto, and then after Logan Leitzel second moto, it was like, okay, this is going to be good. So, I mean, Frank Jackson, I'd have to look back at 250s and see if there's any surprises, because really it's just people coming from behind and not thinking they were going to finish in that spot and like being up front. So
yeah, I would say my 250 surprise was Logan, though. Like he is a former champion, so you expect him to have that kind of speed, but dude showed up right from the get-go ready to play, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, Todd, anything for you?
Same. I mean, like surprised by Logan and surprised by Payson. Like the first motos were insane to watch. Like was not expecting that at all.
A minute victory in the first moto from Payson. Logan got away by 40 seconds or so, and then crashed at the end. I think it was 27 or something. But yeah, that was a very impressive set of rides to start off the season. And yeah, we're off to the races. Round 1 of Pro Motocross in MX Simulator done. 10 more rounds still to go. We'll be back same time, same place next Wednesday night for the Hangtown National. Todd's home race. Haywood, we're leaving our home race and going to Todd's area next week.
NorCal Bros, rice holes, and yeah. That's about it. Yeah. Shitty ruts, shitty track.
Shitty ruts, shitty track.
No, it's tough.
That's told him it was
shitty,
sick in 2016.
It's real motocross
It
up there.
is.
If it can
You
be
guys
like
have freeway,
60,
it's freeways down
if
here.
it can be 60 degrees and overcast like 2016, it was unreal.
I can't wait till tomorrow. The 450 moto is gonna, or not tomorrow, but Saturday, the 450 moto is gonna end up, and I'm gonna be standing on the track next to Todd. I'm gonna walk out onto the track and turn on my phone and be like, "This looks like a freeway out here, Todd. Do you see this freeway?" Standing in knee-deep ruts all across the track.
I was just talking like maybe like milestone back.
Maybe just because it's flat. Maybe because it's flat.
But like Glen Helen obviously gets rough. Paula has a chance of getting rough. I get it. But the majority of her tracks were kind of freeways here for a while.
Yeah,
Just gonna say it.
All right, round 1 of Sim done and in the books.
I like NorCal.
Many congratulations to Payson Johnson and Cade Matherly on the wins tonight. Thank you guys who tuned in, everybody who donated, the new subs. There was a ton of you guys, the bits that rolled in as well. Very much appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this broadcast. It was fun having 3 people in the booth. Great to have Todd with us here this week, getting ready to shoot some nationals this weekend. Haywood, is always great to have you back. Got to drink, got to eat cookies, call some nationals.
I forgot. I shouldn't have wrapped these up. You had them.
I had
you
a
had
couple.
2?
Yeah.
Only brought 3.
Well, I didn't realize that we were divvying it up evenly. They were sitting here the whole time. You're supposed to take them if you want them. There you go.
I brought them.
Thank you, Haywood.
I brought them for. I brought one.
Okay,
one for everyone.
One final hydrate. The Real Monkey 626. Cheers, boys. Round 1 of nationals
water,
done.
I got water too now.
All good. Thank you guys for tuning in to round 1 here on Start Your Systems TV. We'll be back next week for Hangtown. Until then, hopefully enjoy your weekend watching Fox Raceway IRL, and we'll see you next week. So long for now.
Bye.
I'm gonna come.